see. What do you think of his play?
Nothing wrong with this guy's arm. He's playing under a new system here, new terminology. Kippy Brown's the new coordinator. Things will come around right now in that translation stage, but this guy can still do it in the fourth quarter.
Well, easily the most compelling story in the National Football League coming into this week. Bills quarterback Doug Flutie, about 9 years up in Canada where he was all everything. Now he's back in the NFL at the age of 36. What's your read on Flutie and his great play so far?
Well, everybody talks about his height, but it really never comes into play. He's an out-of-the-pocket kind of a quarterback, bootlegs and rollouts, and when he throws the ball, those offensive linemen fire out to get those defensive hands down. This guy is exciting, and he's going to be fun this afternoon.
Buckle up. Coming up next, the Miami Dolphins against the Buffalo Bills. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Bills Stadium, Orchard Park, New York, with Sam White, Kevin Harlan. Jimmy Johnson, in his third year as the coach of the Miami Dolphins, brings a 5-2 record into today. And Wade Phillips in his first year after taking the place of Marv Levy, who retired.
Big afternoon today. Two good quarterbacks, both veterans from different paths.
Murray the kickoff, and here we go from Buffalo. And it's Kevin Williams on the run, and he's up to the 31-yard line for the Buffalo Bills. Doug Flutie comes into today, coach, as the fourth-rated NFL quarterback.
They had 6 MVP titles up there in Canada in 8 years. One of the most exciting quarterbacks playing today, and he has this town upside down. All you hear about is Flutie Flakes and Doug Flutie on Sunday.
He's got the league upside down.
He does. He's fun to watch.
So from the 31-yard line, Buffalo begins it. They played earlier in this season with Miami beating Buffalo 13-7. Thurman Thomas opens up in the backfield. 4 wide receivers deployed. And Flutie will go the other way, setting up a screen. It's Thomas, a block from Ruben Brown, and he's got a first down up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 14 on first down. Nice blocking up ahead for the great Thurman Thomas. Doug Flutie will have great blocking up ahead of him with left tackle Fina. Brown with that lead block. Ziegler. Panos comes from the Eagles, and Jerry Ostrowski, the right tackle. Antoine Smith will be the lead running back today, blocking back Gash. Moulds is now the #1 target. Reed is the veteran, and Lonnie Johnson is a pretty good receiving and an excellent blocking tight end. Antoine Smith is in. First down and 10 yards to go from the 45 for the Bills. Second play of the ball game. Gash is in motion. The expatriate. And a handoff goes to the 6'2 Antoine Smith, and Zach Thomas shoots right through and makes the tackle. Miami's defense is the 4th ranked in the NFL entering this afternoon. You just saw Zach Thomas. He leads the group from the linebacking corps, but on the line, good, young, and fast. Mixon, Bowens, Gardner coming off his best game as a pro, and the effervescent Jason Taylor. Robert Jones from the Rams and Cowboys. Thomas in the middle, and Derek Rogers outside. And in the secondary, quarterbacks Buckley and Sam Madison, emerging star. Brock Marion is one of the safeties on second down and 11. Flutie, great time, good block by Ostrowski. Flutie's on the run, needs to get inside the 45, and is close to it. Out of bounds and about a half-yard shy after scrambling for 10 on second and 11. Eric Moulds gave a nice block ahead.
Now watch how everybody stays in the game. When you've got a scrambling quarterback like this, nothing to the right, he goes to his left, number 80, Eric Moulds. Now watch him. You'll see him down here in the bottom of the screen. He's going to be blocking. There he is right there. Just enough room to get the first down. Well, I guess they're a little bit short, though. It's going to be third down short, but gave him that extra yard or two.
You need those receivers to block.
Well, that's your touchdown block. The offensive linemen get you started. Running backs make somebody miss. Your touchdowns come from the down-the-field blocks by your wide receivers.
So it's third down and 1 outside the Miami 45. First series of the ball game. A fake, a good play action. The blitz is on. Flutie throws. He's got a receiver. Andre Reed. First down to the Miami 20. It's a gain of 26. Flutie hung in the pocket with the blitz coming his way.
You know, a good faker will keep his shoulders low, and he keeps the ball down in the gut of his stomach right here. Watch the fake. He's going to extend the ball. See the ball go out? The ball's down low. His shoulders are low. Flutie gets hit just as he lets it go, and he underthrows this one a little bit. But Andre Reed knows it's coming, comes back with a big catch.
Jason Taylor has lost his shoe and is running off the field. Thus, they bring in Lorenzo Bramell. So Taylor is out. First down and 10 from the Miami 20 for the Bills. Opening drive of the game. Reimers, the tight end, is on the move. Flutie again to the air. Great time again. Fires a pass which is incomplete to Andre Reed. Reed just caught that 26-yarder. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Sam Madison that time. You're going to see the Miami Dolphins in what's called a press or a bump and run. Actually, there's a difference in my mind between a press and a bump and run. Bump and run is that good chuck at the line of scrimmage, and then you kind of trail. A press, you're all over them all the time. And Sam Madison and Terrell Buckley on the other side, you're looking at Sam Madison there. They're going to be pressing. They're going to be chasing, harassing, tough, tight coverage all afternoon.
Taylor back in, 2nd down and 10 from the 20. The pitch out goes to Antoine Smith. Breaks a tackle in the backfield. That was Madison. Out of bounds he runs at about the 21-22-yard line. Forced out of bounds by Brock Marion, who Jimmy Johnson used to coach with the Dallas Cowboys.
Sam Madison had a chance for the tackle in the backfield, but he came up and he committed the cardinal sin. He lowered his head, ducked his head. When you duck your head, your shoulders go down, your hips come up, and of course a good running back will make you miss. Sam Madison knows it. Look at him shaking his head. He's saying to himself, now I know I was coached better than that.
Really, it's been Buckley who's been the lightning rod in terms of cornerbacks.
Yeah, all up to this point, but both cornerbacks do a good job in coverage.
Inside the 22, 3rd down and 11. Flutie shovel pass, and it's caught by Thurman Thomas. A flag is thrown as Thomas works his way to the 16 of Miami. And the Dolphins, by their body language, seem to say that it's against the Buffalo Bills. It is.
And it is. Smart play that time. Flutie's going to be out of pocket a lot today. He starts quickly out of the pocket on this one, and then the little shovel pass underneath. When he started quickly to his left, what he did was it made that defensive end widen.
Phil Luckett is our referee.
Offense, number 79. 10 yards. It remains 3rd down.
79 is 2-time Pro Bowler Reuben Brown, as good as there gets at the left guard.
Going to be a whale of a battle now between Darrell Gardner and Reuben Brown. These two guys are physical football players. All afternoon they're going to be going at it.
The penalty pushes Buffalo back outside the Miami 31, so it is 3rd down and 21 on the game's opening drive. Big play on this drive, a 26-yard pass to Andre Reed. Thomas is in the backfield, and Flutie, like he was in the Canadian Football League, is in the shotgun. Good time, moves up, throws into the end zone, and incomplete, looking for Reed, who is covered on the play by 2 defending Dolphins, and Patrick Surtain was back there. This Surtain is a good-looking rookie out of Southern Miss. It's incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
As good as the corners are, Terrell Buckley and Sam Madison in bump and run coverage and press coverage, I think this Patrick Surtain may be even better. He is all over them. Great reactions. That time the throw from Flutie was one just to put it in a spot and hope that Andre Reed could get there, and he didn't.
If Christie hits this, it would be a season long. It's from 49 yards away, and it is no good. Steve Christie missing. And Buffalo comes up empty on their first drive. Miami will take over at the 31. Dolphins take over for the first time today after a missed Buffalo field goal. Dan Marino turned 37 about a month ago.
Had 3 interceptions a week ago early in the game, but came back to put him in position to win with a field goal at the end in overtime.
Spotted the missed kick back to the 40-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go for Dan Marino. And the handoff to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is drilled at the 42-yard line. And up the middle, Price with the great stick. It'll be 2nd down. Miami's offensive line, these guys have not missed a snap all season long. Webb, Dixon, Ruddy, Donnelly, and James Brown, the right tackle. Abdul-Jabbar, the ball carrier. Pritchett, the blocking back. Gadsden, along with McDuffie, the wideouts, and the tight end is Troy Drake.
Buffalo in a 4-man line. They'll switch between a 4-3 and a 3-4 all afternoon.
From the 42, 2nd down and 8. Marino sets up, flips it on the wing. A spinning acrobatic catch by Abdul-Jabbar, and he's out to the 46-yard line, picking up 4 on the play and setting up 3rd down and 4. John Holisek makes the stop, number 52. A good-looking middle linebacker. On the line for the Bills, Hansen, Washington, as good as there is at the nose tackle. Price and the great Bruce Smith at the right end.
3rd down, 4.
Linebackers, Holisek is flanked by Brandenburg, taking the place of Rogers and Gabe Northern. And in the secondary for the Bills, Irvin, Martin, Jones, and Thomas. Smith, and Smith is having a Pro Bowl caliber season. 3rd and 4. Parmley in the backfield with Marino from the shotgun. Good time. Swings a pass to O.J. McDuffie. Dives for the first down and has it to the Bill 48. The ball loose. They blow it dead. Miami's got a first down and a gain of 6 through the air on 3rd and 4.
Dan Marino told us last night, he said, I love the shotgun. I don't even look at the ball. I'm not sure I even look the ball in. Because remember, a shotgun, you're catching a pass from the center. He's throwing it between his legs. He did there. O.J. McDuffie pivots and slides to the outside. Now, that's not a pattern where you're breaking out of the break. It's not a time throw. If the outside technique had taken away the outside, he would have slid back to the inside on that pattern.
Miami missed their last 8 first downs last week against New England. First down and 10 yards to go from the 48. They send Pritchett, the blocking back, in motion. The pitch out to Abdul-Jabbar. The block by Webb, who bulldozes over that line of the Buffalo Bills. And a gain of 5 by the very quick Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Abdul-Jabbar walked off the field after that last 3rd down play, looking like he was limping. But the left side, Dixon and Webb, look at the solid block, just a quick pitch, and then turns upfield. Now, here's the key to a pitch like that. At some point, you make a decision, and you start going north to south. The poor runners on the pitch keep going east and west. They're going towards that sideline and never commit upfield. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar knows how to commit.
And he's strong.
He's a strong runner. And not only that, but he can make the first guy miss for you.
2nd down and 5. Abdul-Jabbar sent up the middle. Nice block by Dixon, 63, and Donnelly, 65. A gain of 4 on 2nd and 5. Brings up 3rd down and 1.
And the Buffalo Bills defense, trying to stop the run, are pursuing very quickly. Look for the bootleg or some kind of reverse not too far down the field. That time, Bruce Smith closed down tight, as did Gabe Northern, the outside linebacker, to the Miami Dolphins left side. Remember, though, it's tough for a right-handed quarterback to roll out to his left, especially Dan Marino. He's more of a pocket guy.
Dolphins converted their last 3rd and 4. Now 3rd down and 1. Bernie Parmley is in the backfield. And Marino has platooned 3 wide receivers. Short drop, quick throw, dropped. Across the middle and dropped by Arambe Gadsden. A flag has been thrown. Gadsden dropped a crucial 3rd down catch last week against New England, but had a couple good catches down the stretch. And holding is the call, and it's assessed the Buffalo Bills. A break for the Dolphins.
Well, it is, and Dan Marino was having a heck of a time trying to get that play started. You notice it before the snap, he kept moving his feet up and down. He was trying to get somebody to go in motion, so somebody went to sleep.
Prior to the pass, holding, Buffalo, 5 yards, automatic, first down. Number 20.
That was against Thomas Smith. It's a 5-yard penalty, but an automatic first down when you've got a defensive hold like that.
Buffalo, one of the most heavily penalized teams in the National Football League, 6th coming into this weekend.
Nice balance so far. You know, Jimmy Johnson wants to run the ball, but Dan Marino, as you know, is still one of the premier passers, even at this stage of his career, and they're mixing it up beautifully so far.
On the Buffalo 34, 1st and 10. Marino pump fakes, going deep and floating it outside for Horace Copeland. Activated today, a guy who's had some problems in camp and in practice, dropping the football. You coached him at Tampa Bay.
I had him at Tampa Bay. He's a big, tall guy, can cover a lot of ground, but he is not a great catch. You see him come up, he never finds the ball. One thing, that wasn't because he didn't catch the ball well. That's because he didn't read the timing. He's got to make a quick move and go. That time he spent way too much time trying to freeze the cornerback, Kid Irvin.
Miami drive began back at the 40. Now at the Buffalo 34. 7th play coming up. 2nd down and 10. Abdul-Jabbar slithering his way down inside the 29-yard line and perhaps picking up 5. John Holisek, who is the leading tackler for the Bills, makes the stop on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That time this is a running play. Now watch Marino reach. He's going to hold the ball out. See how long he holds the ball? The reason he does that is as long as the ball is exposed like that, the linebackers have to stay honest. So in a little while when he reaches out and then pulls the ball back at the last second, you've got the linebackers a little out of position.
And that may be the one thing that Marino is always, or any quarterback, will always look at the linebackers.
The linebackers stand between you and the reception. They're the underneath receivers. They're the intercept people.
3rd and 4. 4 wide receivers. Marino from the gun. Great block from Donnelly. Throws a first down pass, and it's caught by Lamar Thomas. A gain of 17 on 3rd and 4. And Marino, for his 2nd time today, goes through the air and gets a first down throwing the ball.
Out of the shotgun, Marino likes it. Just coming from the inside, outside to the inside. Lamar Thomas, another one of my guys in Tampa. They're all up here. Horace Copeland, Lamar Thomas. Kippy Brown was with me there, the offensive coordinator, first time this year. Terrific coach. And both these teams are very good once they get into the red zone, and that's where Miami finds himself.
McDuffie at the bottom of your screen. First down and 10 from the Bills' 13. It's Abdul-Jabbar, a lead block coming from Pritchett and shut down easily by Henry Jones. No gain on the play. Second down and 10.
Henry Jones is a safety. Now, you can't get a hat on everybody. Remember, both teams have 11 players. The quarterback can't block anybody, so you can't block the last safety. He comes up in quick pursuit, mainly because there's nothing deep to defend. They're inside the 15-yard line. Solid tackle there, though. That was shoulder pad, hips down, bend at the knees, not at the waist. Good tacklers will bend at the knees. When you bend at the waist, you lose your balance. Your center of gravity shifts. When you bend at the knees, you have that uncoil into the tackle.
First time the Dolphins have had it all day after a missed field goal by Buffalo. 10th play of the drive, second down and 10. And he throws it outside. Abdul-Jabbar, a foot race with the rookie linebacker Howard. Out of bounds goes Abdul-Jabbar at about the 7-yard line, picking up 5 and setting up third down and 5.
Dan Marino still has everything experience brings. Watch him look down the field, eyes down the field. Last second, not there. Quick, out to the outside. No wasted motion, no indecision. As soon as his receiver down the field, his primary receiver's not there, he goes off to his alternate.
Marino's been hot on this drive.
4 out of 5 completions. And when you're moving the ball like that, you don't mind running every now and then because you know you can come back and get that completion throwing the football.
Bills defense has been great in the first quarter this year. It's third down and 5. Parmley in the backfield. Marino from the gun. With time, throws. Short of the first down pass caught by Lamar Thomas. He offered a 17-yard catch earlier. A flag is down on the play. And they give his forward progress just outside the Buffalo 5-yard line.
And it's going to go against Miami, I believe. The illegal procedure. Somebody must have moved. Would have been an interesting decision for Jimmy Johnson on 4th and 1.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 76, 5 yards, it remains, third down.
76 is right tackle James Brown.
Both these teams very good in the red zone. 66% for Miami. 10 trips down or 15 trips into the red zone. They've scored 10 touchdowns. Buffalo even better at almost 74%.
Penalty moves it to the 12. It's third down and 10 on the 11th play of a drive orchestrated by future Hall of Famer Dan Marino. Parmley's in the backfield. Good block by Dixon. A throw down the middle, caught, and he is in for the touchdown. Oronde Gadsden.
Marino's pass complete for a touchdown to number 86. Oronde Gadsden.
A 12-yard touchdown pass. Miami on their first possession up.
And another touchdown. That makes them 11 for 16 going in. Quick throw. Marino looks to the right. Nothing there is alternate receiver Oronde Gadsden. In August of this year, he's playing indoor in arena football. And here he is scoring the opening touchdown of one of the biggest games between two contenders this week.
Mare's extra point is in. A good-looking drive engineered by quarterback Dan Marino. His 9th touchdown pass of the season. He puts the Dolphins up by 7. Back at Bill Stadium, Miami scores their first quarter touchdown in 10 games. And now we'll kick off, and here's Mare from the 30. And deep back, they've got Moulds and Kevin Williams. And Sam Gash lassos this at the 15 with one hand, and then sledgehammers his way up to the 30-yard line where he'll be taken down. And tackled by Walker. Doug Flutie trails 7-0.
With his its unique wide-track design, the wide-track Grand Prix Sport Sedan provides better cornering and control when you're out for a bite. The wide-track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better.
Back at Bill's Stadium, Orchard Park, New York, with Sam White, Kevin Harlan. Miami on top with the touchdown pass at 12 yards from Dan Marino to Oronde Gadsden. This will be the second possession for Doug Flutie. He took his team deep in Miami territory the first time the Bills had it today.
Good try. Fun game when the offense is moving. Defensive battles aren't as much fun for, the casual spectator like yourself.
On the 31. First down and 10. Here comes Antoine Smith trying to carve something up the middle and picks up 2, setting up second down and 8. And in the middle there was Darrell Gardner. Miami drove 11 plays, 60 yards. And the one thing that was impressive about Marino on that drive, he was 5 of 6 for 43 yards. He converted 3rd and 4, 3rd and 4, and 3rd and 10 on the drive.
Touchdown. Listen, Dan Marino is still an integral part of this. A lot has been said about the running game and how much Jimmy Johnson wants to run the football. Everybody wants to be able to run the football because there are times in the game, especially late in the ball game, when you have to have it.
Marino also hit 4 different receivers. Second down and 8. Play action by Flutie. Up the middle came the defense, and a pass is out of the reach of intended receiver Andre Reed. He was covered by safety Brock Marion.
No chance that time. The play action didn't fool anybody. And when you've got to throw the ball quick, play action means the quarterback's got to take his eyes off the defense for an instant. He's got to look the ball in to sell the fake, and then he's got to get his head around quickly to find a receiver down the field. When you turn around, there's somebody in your face. That's the end of that play.
And the receiver that he has sought on 4 of his 5 passes has been Andre Reed.
Well, why not? 14 years he's been doing it.
Thurman Thomas in the backfield, 3rd down and 8 on the Buffalo 33. Good block by Thomas. Downfield he throws, and while the receiver was cutting in, the pass went out. Incomplete. 3 and out for the Buffalo Bills. He was looking downfield for Quinn Early.
Quinn Early broke the pattern off. Looked like that Doug Flutie thought he was going to move on up the sideline, or maybe there's a read. You know, sometimes when you get a roll up, what I mean by that is the corner has the short outside and the safety takes the deep outside, that you try to split the sideline. And it looked like that's what Doug Flutie thought that Quinn Early was going to do. He did not. Quinn Early, first year with the ball club.
Game's first punt. Chris Moore sends it skyward for the Buffalo Bills, and Terrell Buckley is back with the catch at about the 19-yard line. And the ex-Green Bay Packer dives up to the 26 on a return of 7 yards after a punt of 47. We'll get another look at Dan Marino as the Buffalo offense staggers there, and they got a punt away to the Dolphins. Still in the first quarter, Dolphins on top 7-0 on a Marino touchdown pass. Second Miami possession here from the 26-yard line. 1st and 10. And play action. Marino has time, slings a pass, and it is caught with a flag thrown. McDuffie got the pass, but it looks like they blew the play dead before it had a chance to get going.
They did. I think Richmond Webb moved before the snap, and the play was called dead. I don't think anybody could hear it because of the crowd noise.
It is loud.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 84. 5 yards, it remains, first down.
That's the second offensive line penalty on the Dolphins in the first quarter. The first on the tight end, Troy Drayton.
Well, when the crowd noise gets loud, you try to anticipate the rhythm of the snap count. I used to tell my quarterbacks, when he gets like this, try to, early in the game, go in the same snap count for a while so they know he's coming. At least we don't make that mistake.
1st and 15 from the 21. Abdul-Jabbar breaking a tackle. Great block by McDuffie, and up there goes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the 34. Tackled by outside linebacker Gabe Northern. On 1st and 15, it's a gain of 12 yards by Abdul-Jabbar.
And you notice this time the Buffalo Bills are in their 3-4 defense. Running outside. Good block outside by the wide receiver. Just keeps on blocking. That was O.J. McDuffie. But the first drive, Buffalo was in a 4-down lineman, 3 linebackers. This time they put in Sam Cowart, the rookie from FSU, and they go to 3-down linemen and 4 linebackers.
2nd down and 3 from the 34. And off again to Abdul-Jabbar, and from behind the line of scrimmage he found Bruce Smith. 10-time Pro Bowler, 35 years old now in his 14th NFL season.
Now Bruce Smith's going to come from the backside. He's coming from back in here, and he is closing quickly flat down the line. That leaves yourself open for bootlegs or for possible reverses. Dan Marino doesn't run a lot of bootlegs, so their game plan is we're going to close down tight and make some of those tackles that Bruce Smith just made.
Slowed by an injury still is Smith. It's 3rd down and 4. The Dolphins in 3rd down this year from the 33. Shotgun to Marino. A block by Ruddy. A bobbled catch is made, but not for a first down. Bernie Parmley brought it in, but seems to be about a yard shy of the first down. He needed 4. He may have gotten 3.5. Henry Jones, the safety, was there to close the door.
Miami giving Marino plenty of time. That was reminiscent of last week. Doug Flutie throwing the little shovel pass at the last second. Marino finally ran out of time and just pushed it forward. But that's going to be short. And I don't see Jimmy Johnson going forward at this stage of the ball game, backed up in his own territory.
These two teams on pretty good winning streaks. Johnson's Dolphins have won 2 in a row, including an overtime win over New England last week, 12-9. And you can see they're about a link shy. What would you do? Would you go for it?
I would not on the road backed up like this, but I'm looking at Jimmy, and he's sure considering it. I don't think so, but he's going for it. You can hear him say, go for it. The downside loss is great, but they do have a 7-point lead, so maybe they feel like they've got the cushion right now. They'll go ahead and take a chance. If they don't, the defense is doing such a good job of holding the Buffalo Bills that they'll gamble that they can hold them again if they don't make it. But look, they've only got an inch to go.
Pritchett has come in. The Dolphins, look at them huddle so close. The noise is deafening. This place, noise has feel in Buffalo.
It does, and it'll also affect the snap count, which is crucial on a play like this.
It's Abdul-Jabbar stuck in the backfield. Gabe Northern. The gamble didn't pay off. And Buffalo has it at the Miami 34.
Penetration. The defensive line just sold out, came hard up the field right there. And Gabe Northern coming in from the backside, number 99. They couldn't put a hat on everybody. Offensively, the Dolphins could not. And that's the downside. When I said the downside loss is great, they're going to experience it now.
Dolphins can't convert Sam White on 4th and inches from their own 34. Buffalo gets it back.
Well, I think Jimmy Johnson was saying, look, we've only given up a little over 11 points a ball game. We lead the NFL in that category. I believe in my defense if we don't make the first down.
And a handoff to Antoine Smith, who hurdles a defender and is down to the 30, picking up 4 on 1st and 10. Zach Thomas, the tackle. This is, by the way, the one defense in the league which has allowed the fewest points, just 79 coming in to today. But I guess the question has to be asked, how long can the defense carry this team?
Well, you don't want to leave your defense on the field in any one game very long, and you want your offense to be scoring a lot of points off and on, at least, to give that defense a break. The defense, by the way, has allowed opponents into that red zone only 10 times all year long.
2nd down and 6. Flutie being chased by Mixon, throws a pass and coming back for it, and the reception is made. A great catch by Eric Moulds. We throw our pass to Jim Nantz at our CBS studios in New York.
All right, Kevin and Sam, check it out. Peyton Manning, remember the hot hand he had in his last game against the 49ers? He continues today. Colts are in. Touchdown pass to Warren. 7-7 as they start now the second quarter. Back to you.
Miami plays Indianapolis next week.
Peyton Manning getting better and better each week. You know, as you watch this kid develop, he keeps making fewer mistakes. He's not repeating things. That's the good news for the Colts.
5-yard gain by Moulds. It's now 3rd down and 1 from the Dolphin 25. Good time for Flutie. Sidearm delivery. Leaping catch made by Andre Reed. First down, gain of 10 to the Dolphin 15-yard line. He beat Brock Marion.
In talking to Doug Flutie last night, he said quarterbacking is about decisions, making the right decisions once that ball is snapped. He wanted to go deep down the field. It was covered. Look at Reed right here. He's going to break to the outside. He's got the chance. Not a very good throw, but Andre Reed makes it a completion, and it'll look good in the paper tomorrow.
So the drive stayed alive by the pass from Flutie to Reed. 7-0 Dolphins at the end of 1. A Dan Marino touchdown pass. Buffalo's on the move. We begin the second quarter with a 3rd and 1 for the Buffalo Bills against the number 2 defense in the NFL in stopping third downs, Miami's.
They gave him a first down. It looks like he got a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
And the handoff goes to Antoine Smith, who bounces outside. And he is wrestled down by Derek Rogers. So it is a first down at the end of that first quarter. And let's take a look at the 2 quarterbacks today. Flutie on the Bills and Dan Marino with the touchdown pass for the Dolphins.
2 record-setting quarterbacks really over their careers. Flutie right here with 102. Now that leads the league. If you finish with 102, you're usually leading the league in that quarterback rating system, which is a very complicated thing. But mainly, it comes right down to how many games you win. That's how you evaluate quarterbacks.
2nd down 12. From the Miami 17. Flutie in the shotgun, and Thurman Thomas will take it for a gain of 3 inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Thurman Thomas, 32 years old, and the one thing that stands out about his career is he has 8 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons up until last year. And there's a player down, John Fina, who is the left tackle for the Bills.
Boy, he just came shooting back. He got surprised by somebody on that defensive side of the ball. John Fina, number 1 pick back in 1992. Solid left tackle.
2 pretty good red zone defenses involved today, and touchdowns allowed. We'll see how Miami will handle the Buffalo Bills deep in their own territory. Just into the second quarter here at Bills Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. And Miami on top. The Dolphins defense tested right now. Buffalo facing 3rd and 9.
And very good. They've made 19 trips down here to the red zone this year, and they've scored 14 touchdowns. We mentioned earlier, over 73%.
Flutie in the shotgun from the Miami 14. Great red zone offense. A block by the tackle. Robert Hicks buys time for Flutie, running out of room, throws a pass, and it is caught. They have not signaled a touchdown. And the 2 officials meeting right there to decide if it's in or not. The catch was made by Andre Reed down shy of the goal line. All 3 catches by Reed today have been made on 3rd down. That one good for 13, but not into the end zone. 1st and goal, Buffalo.
Let me tell you something. Doug Flutie is electric. He goes, he's looking and he's going to roll to his right. Now, when you go to your right, every quarterback coach, Turk Schonert is his coach, says never throw back to the middle when you roll to the right. Look at him. Throws back to the middle and gets away with it to the 1-inch line. And Doug Flutie, not only is he electric after the ball snapped, he's electric after the whistle blows, too.
So now the 7th play of the drive. Smith is in the backfield. Gash is the lead back, and that's how far they got to go on 1st and goal. Riemersma, the tight end, is moving. Fake handoff. Flutie to the end zone. Touchdown, Riemersma.
The key to a good ball handling is the extension of the ball. You see it, and look at the head and eyes kind of drop and follow the ball for an instant. Good carrying out of the fake by the ball carrier, and Riemersma is wide open. Nobody covering him. They're all playing the run.
Christie with the extra point. He ties the game at 7 apiece. We're just into the second quarter here in chilly Orchard Park, New York. A touchdown pass by Flutie. A touchdown pass by Marino. We're talking. Well, looks like the backfire by Jimmy Johnson on 4th and inches from his own 34-yard line backfired because Buffalo comes in with the touchdown pass and ties the game at 7.
Well, they had the short field to go. A lot to ask of your defense. If the defense had been solid, and that's what Jimmy was counting on, it didn't work out.
Kickoff by Christie. Deep back, Avery and Brock Marion. And this is Avery, the fastest Dolphin, from the 6-yard line for Miami. He's up to the 26. And tackled on the play by Sean Moran. The touchdown pass again.
Now watch the technique right here. Flutie looks and extends the ball. It goes right. Now look, the ball carrier tucks the ball and keeps running. The shoulders are down. Flutie's shoulders are down. His head follows the ball for just a count. Riemersma, we didn't see it right there, but he hits for just an instant and then just slides away. Lets the defender think that he just beat Jay Riemersma on the block, and instead he's wide open for the touchdown.
Flutie on that drive, 4 of 4 for 29 yards, and Reed was instrumental. So now how does Miami respond? Here is Dan Marino with Avery in the backfield. On the 26, Pritchett, the blocking back. Marino goes right to work and throws a pass, which is caught by tight end Troy Drayton. His 15th catch of the year, and he picks up 9 on first down. Tackled by the linebacker Coward. Coming up in the NASDAQ halftime report, join Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and George Seifert. They'll have all the scores and highlights. Plus, look at how some NFL players made Halloween special for a bunch of kids. All coming up on the NASDAQ halftime report. Hope you got a chance to watch Lawrence Taylor and Jim Nance talking in the pregame show. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Second down and 1. And Avery, the rookie out of Mississippi, in their first-round draft choice, tries to go ahead and comes near a first down, but appears again to be just shy. Avery Johnson told us last night the fastest Dolphin. There was a lot of thought that maybe Jimmy would try to trade up and look for a wide receiver, but this is a team based now on the run after changing their offense, and so they went with the running back, a very quick kid, a good kick returner too, and Avery out of Mississippi.
Well, that's the other thing. He's a good kickoff return man, and he is very good in open space. He'll be trying to get him the ball in open space. You know, Jimmy told us yesterday too that he does not trade up very often. Probably 3 or 4 trade downs during the draft to get extra picks to every one that he trades up.
They give him the first down at the 36. And Marino has to burn one of his timeouts. He saw something he didn't like, and he'll go over and talk with Jimmy Johnson.
The Dolphins take a lot of time in the huddle. They spend enough time where they can't adjust at the line if they get late.
Timeout Miami.
Dan Marino saw the 20. Actually, it was a 40-second clock ticking down a moment ago. He's standing under center, and as he glances up, you see it high in the stands right there. He can tell how much time he has. Remember, there's 40 seconds between each play. After a timeout or something, they have a 25-second clock. But the quarterback knows if he runs out of time, just call timeout. Don't waste a play.
So 2 timeouts remaining for Miami. It is a first down for the Dolphins, and they've got it at the 37-yard line. Marino is 7 of 8 so far, throwing the ball. He misses a second pass. No one was there. It's incomplete. A receiver, Rondé Gadsden, had gone up. Bruce Smith held out his calling card coming up the middle.
Bruce Smith tries to come outside. He's getting pushed by. Dan Marino feels that the time has run out on him. That time it's Sam Coward. Looked like coming in there, the linebacker in the 3-4 defense. He just threw the ball out to the outside. There was no receiver. Legitimate complaint by the Buffalo Bills that time.
Marino had hit his last 5 passes until that miss.
Better to throw an incomplete than take a sack.
Second down and 10. We're tied at 7 early in the second quarter. The handoff goes to the elusive John Avery. And Avery picks up 4 yards. That'll set up 3rd down and 6, and the tackle made by Phil Hansen on the defensive line. As you take a look at Doug Flutie.
This time it's that stretch play to the left side. Now watch how far he reaches. What it does is it spreads the defense left and right. And then the holes open up. They're not really, the offensive line is not trying to push the defensive line backwards. They're just trying to separate them with the stretch of the running back. Then he can cut back or cut straight up the field.
It's quite a lunge by the quarterback, too.
He's got to keep running. He can't take a step or 2 and stop.
3rd and 6, 5 receivers. Marino being chased by Smith. Hit by Smith. The pass is caught downfield. Great catch by Gadsden. He's at the 31 of Buffalo, and a first down and a pickup of 29. A scrambling Dan Marino hits Gadsden.
And I bet you that Dan Marino could feel Bruce Smith coming from the backside. He's coming up now. He's to Dan Marino's backside. Dan is scrolling to his right. 2 good friends. They've both been in the league a long time. They are frequently together on charity events, and I guarantee, and Dan told us last night he hadn't spoken to him because they're playing. That's probably the first conversation they'd had.
So on 3rd and 6, a gain of 29, and Gadsden with 2 big catches for 41 yards, taking a breather from the Buffalo 30. Avery tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and he's brought down by Hansen. A loss of 3. The NFL comes alive on CBS Sportsline. Check out the game plan feature for in-depth team reports, roster moves, and coaches' decisions on your favorite team at cbs.sportsline.com.
Good football game. Both teams playing smart football, not making mistakes. Just one team playing slightly better on one play over the other.
3 receivers on 2nd and 13 from the Buffalo 33. And on the 7th play of the drive, Avery again gets the call. Hopping and skipping and picking and poking his way inside the 30. And he's to the 28, picking up 5. Eric Smedley makes the tackle from the secondary for the Bills.
Right at the end right there, you can hear the umpire saying, easy, easy. Ball players are taught, you play until you hear that whistle. You're coming full speed. You never know when the ball is going to come out loose, and you just find yourself luckily in the right spot, place. Avery is a quick, fast running back, and when you're darting left and right, you get hit from the blind side a lot, and that sometimes causes a fumble.
Marino now 3rd and 8. He has to get inside the Buffalo Bill 20. 4 wide receivers. He's going deep into the end zone. What a catch is made at the 1-yard line by Gadsden. This kid is phenomenal. 1st and goal, Miami.
Oronde Gadsden. Now, they've been all year long, you hear people say that the Miami Dolphins don't have the same group of receivers that they've had in the past when they had Clayton and all the guys that Dan Marino's thrown to his entire career, but nobody has made a better catch for Dan Marino than that one.
This kid was playing in the World League, in the Arena League. They took a flyer on him in camp, and look what he's done today in a huge game for the Dolphins.
Just a little step and go. Safety didn't get there.
1st and goal. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar knocked down by linebacker Sam Coward, who has just voted the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Month in the National Football League. A loss of about a yard. 2nd down and goal. They love this kid out of Florida State.
I'll tell you what, I really like him. He was the 39th pick overall. He's a fast receiver. Nothing helps a linebacker more than speed, because sometimes you don't go the right way all the time, especially a rookie, and you have to recover. If you've got speed, you can still make the play.
2nd down and goal. Abdul-Jabbar in for the touchdown. Miami back on top.
That one belongs to the offensive line of the Miami Dolphins. Ruddy, Donnelly, Brown, all of them got movement on the defensive line. Big Ted Washington, who is as fine an interior defensive lineman against the run as there is, not enough on that play. Look at the movement by the offensive line. Now, actually, Phil Hansen takes one offensive lineman, Ruddy, out of the play, but there's plenty of movement behind him, enough for the touchdown.
So Miami answers the Buffalo touchdown pass of Flutie with a good-looking drive of their own. Mare with the extra point. 6:54 to play in the first half. Oronde Gadsden offers a wonderful Miami drive with catches of 29 and 27 yards. Autumn in Western New York with Sam Weich, Kevin Harlan, Dan Marino, and the Dolphins lead the Buffalo Bills 14-7. Miami came into today leading Buffalo, New England, and the Jets by 1 game in the rugged AFC East. Following a 1-yard touchdown run by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and a great-looking drive by Gadsden with a couple 3rd down receptions. It's the kickoff, and Kevin Williams inside the 15, racing to the sideline and knocked out of bounds nicely by the Dolphins' Brian Walker. So Flutie and Buffalo will get it back. Monday on CBS, more and more people are discovering why everybody loves Raymond, the funniest show on television. Catch an all-new episode of Monday's #1 comedy on Mondays, right here on CBS.
Much like life around your house, isn't it?
Very much so, yes. From the 29-yard line, 1st down and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. Thurman Thomas again opens up on this drive in the backfield, coupled with Sam Gash. The tight end, 84, Johnson, rearranges himself. And Flutie will hand off, and Thurman Thomas up to the 32-yard line, gaining 3. Thomas excelling Sam, and now what has been his new role as a third down specialist, although we've seen him on first down a couple times today, has to play a lesser role. His acceptance has been a smooth transition for this team.
Well, it's because he's a big-time pro. He's a guy that's led the league in yards from scrimmage 4 times in his career, back 89 through 92. And he understands that there's a changing of the guard going on, but he has a vital role in the third down and, of course, substituting on occasion on first and second.
Second down, 7. Quick count by Flutie. Great time, looking for Reed. Intercepted by Buckley. Buckley has been a target of offenses throughout the year. He's been penalized 8 times in what is now this new press coverage exclusively employed by the secondary. This time, Buckley comes up with an interception.
Now, you get one hand on him inside 5 yards. Anything after that's illegal. Looks like there's some jousting going on. The crowd here is seeing that on film, and they're agreeing with Buffalo head coach Wade Phillips that was interference, not an interception. But you're right. Everybody has gone after Buckley. He's given up a few big plays, but he hasn't given up the touchdown, at least not of late. But they're going to, anytime you give up some big plays, you're going to see another long pass or two the next week. This one may keep him away from him for a while.
Gave up the game-winning touchdown against Jacksonville. But here is a player who has been a marked man that comes up with a huge play for the Dolphins there.
By the way, I don't think that's interference. That kind of stuff is just something you have to live with.
First and 10, Marino right to work into the sideline. He throws. He was looking for receiver Lamar Thomas. But again, nothing in the vicinity except Buffalo Bills, including linebacker Gabe Northern. Incomplete, second down and 10.
Wade Phillips is really working the officials right now, not only because of the interference that he thought should have been called in the last play, but that's the second time Dan Marino's thrown the ball with no one around. But when the ball comes out clean and with authority like that, many times the official says, well, the receiver just ran the wrong route.
Second down and 10 from the 32. Marino tried to rifle it down the middle. It's incomplete. Setting up 3rd and 10. Abdul-Jabbar was in his sights. And that interception by Buckley, the 11th by the Dolphins this year, and that surpasses what they had all of 97. They had 10 last year. That was number 11 this year, and Buckley records his 4th of the season.
You know, and they credit that to the fact that a lot of it to Bill Bradley, their defensive backfield coach. A lot of physical, bump and run, pressure all the way down the field. Dick Roach was their defensive backfield coach before. He's more of a technique guy. They like the idea of getting in your face and challenging the receivers.
3rd down and 10. Good time by Marino. Hanson's got him, and he's finished up by Smith. What a 1-2 punch the Buffalo Bills pack on that defensive line.
Here's Bruce Smith coming up on a little move to the inside along with Hanson. You see Hanson right there gets the first grab. Here comes Bruce Smith to finish him off. No way to throw that ball away that time. Had Dan Marino tried to throw it away, there'd been a penalty from that point back.
Miami's first punt today, Wilmsmeyer. Bad-looking punt. Bouncing at about the 46 and then out of bounds near the 44. So the Dolphins can't cash in on the Buckley interception of Flutie. It's a 35-yard punt by Klaus Wilmsmeyer, who is still in search of a more consistent hang time. Monday on CBS, it's Ted Danson like you've never seen him before. He's outspoken, not so politically correct doctor who's not afraid to speak his mind. Don't miss the premiere of Monday night's newest comedy, Becker, tomorrow night, right here on CBS.
That's your kind of humor, isn't it, Kevin?
Oh, your humor is my kind of humor.
Well, that's my kind of humor right there. I love Ted Danson.
This game kind of goes back to one of the pivotal plays in the game where Buffalo gained some momentum. That was a 4th and 1 gamble by Johnson, but the Dolphins have covered it up. Yet that will, I think, be rehashed many times in Miami.
Bits on the outcome of this ball game. It certainly is a key play to this point.
From the 44, 1st and 10 for Flutie. A throw down the middle. It's caught near midfield. And the grab is made by tight end Lonnie Johnson. We're still seeing at the left tackle Robert Hicks. John Fina is still out. A stretched muscle. We don't know of his return.
Well, you saw something right there you don't see very often, and that is a quarterback that is considered small, and he is small. But watch right here. Here he is. He's going to drop back, and instead of coming over the top, watch, he's going to drop and throw a sidearm pass. But look at the lane. You see the little throwing lane that was there? That's the the knack that a quarterback has. When you're not able to see over people, you slide till you can see around them.
Second down, long 3, inside Miami territory. Antoine Smith sent chugging up the middle and can only carve out 2 yards. So it'll be third down. This Robert Hicks, who is a rookie and taking the place of the veteran Fina, is 6'7", 345 pounds. He was so big in training camp, they had to sit him down to measure his helmet. Measure his helmet. He's too big. So his helmet is, in other words, gigantic.
Well, they could have stood on a chair. They didn't have to make the guy sit down like that and humiliate him.
He's a rookie, and he's big.
He's big, and I like to refer to him as Mr. Hicks. Thank you, sir.
He gets on the scale, and it says, come back when you're alone. Third down and 1. Flutie out of the pocket, being chased, and throws a pass, which is caught at the 39-yard line by Eric Moles. He's the leading receiver, but today he's been only a secondary consideration for Flutie, who's gone to Reed most of the time.
Well, he went to him 5 times last week. A little shove right there, and he's coming back. The ball's going to be thrown low. The key to a low throw like that is keep your elbows in, as you saw Eric Moles do right there. That way, when the ball scoops up, it flows back up into your chest, and your elbows keep it from touching back down on the turf.
Moles, a couple rocky years, but this year he is blossomed in full flower.
Former #1 pick.
First down and 10 from inside the Miami 40. Play action to Smith. There goes Flutie leaping and throwing, and it's Sam Cash, who is drilled by Johnson, stays on his feet, and works to the 30, make it the 23-yard line. Zach Thomas, the tackle. A flag is down after the gain of 17.
Flag was thrown early,
which means Buffalo.
Somebody moved early. Takes away an exciting play, but you could just listen to the reaction of the crowd. That's why Doug Flutie has turned this city on its ear. The little jump pass, and then, of course, Sam Gash making the tremendous run after the catch. The ex-Nittany Lion.
On the offense, number 77 was in the end of the line and did not report as eligible. 5-yard penalty, first down.
That's the rookie Robert Hicks, that big kid we were talking about out of Mississippi State.
Well, he gets blamed for it, but it wasn't his fault. The wide receiver was off the ball. Therefore, number 77, an ineligible number, is the last man on the line of scrimmage, so he's penalized. But he really didn't make the mistake. It was Eric Moles who didn't step up to the line. He's got to cover the tackle. In other words, he's got to be the last guy on the line of scrimmage. And if not, you have to have 7 people up. You didn't have but 6. It's illegal procedure.
That's the third penalty on the Buffalo Bills. Dolphins with 2. It's now 1st and 15 for Flutie inside the Miami 45. He's got good time. Here comes the rush, and it's put on him by Bromell, and downfield he throws, incomplete. They love this kid, Lorenzo Bromell, who is a rookie 4th-round pick out of Clemson. They moved up 10 slots in the draft to get him, and at 6'6", he's got some wheels.
You know, talking to Jimmy Johnson last night, we mentioned this earlier, that he likes to move around in that draft. If his guy is not there when he's ready to pick, he'll either move up or down. Now, he usually moves down about 3 or 4 times down to every 1 time he moves up. But if he sees somebody or doesn't think somebody's going to be there at his pick, he'll move up to get him.
And here's a kid that wasn't even invited to the NFL scouting combine. Jimmy Johnson got a tip from a coach at Clemson. They liked him so much there, and he drafted him in the 4th round. Second down, 15. Blitz is on. Here comes Armstrong. The pass by Flutie. Leaping pitch made by Kevin Williams. A guy who is recruited by Jimmy Johnson to the University of Miami, drafted by Jimmy Johnson to the Dallas Cowboys, and today playing against Jimmy Johnson in Buffalo. He picked up 14 there.
Now, Doug Flutie right here. Let me tell you, this guy, his coverage is pretty good. Jerry Wilson's all over it, but he just has plenty of confidence in Kevin Williams, and he also has confidence in the fact that the ball will be thrown in the right area to box out the defender. Kevin Williams did that, big completion, but that was not poor coverage. That was just well execution on the offensive side of the ball.
Williams played last year for the Arizona Cardinals. 3rd down, long 1 outside the Miami 30. Handoff, Gash trying to sledgehammer his way down to the 29-yard line. He may have picked up the 1st down. Gash only carries for the 6th time this year.
Did you hear the I thought somebody dropped a stack of encyclopedias up here or something. They're hit down there.
We reached the 2-minute warning. On the edge of Halloween, we thought we'd break the divisions down into trick, treat, and scary. The Redskins have yet to win. Philadelphia beat Washington. Cincinnati's won 2, and Carolina's still winless. Carolina beaten last week by Buffalo.
And the treat division is easy there. The undefeated Denver, Minnesota. Of course, the two teams we're watching here, they are on top of their ball game. And scary, let me tell you, any of these teams right here, playing them right now, you've got a chance to get whipped. They're playing good football.
Chicago's won 3 of 4. The Jets have had a couple of huge wins. Today they are in Kansas City. The Jets trail first place Miami, as does Buffalo, and as does New England, by 1 game in the AFC Eastern Division.
Chicago really with some heartbreaking losses. That team is playing much better. And here, look right up in here. We can see the Flutie Flakes. These things are the hottest thing. They're only being sold in Buffalo and in Boston. Only 1 to a customer because they're in such demand. And it's basically cereal. The money, of course, going to charity, the Autistic Society, to raise money for research.
1st and 10. Buffalo on the 7th play of the drive. Oh, a great block by Gash. Downfield it goes. Incomplete, looking for tight end Lonnie Johnson. Flutie has had time. He is the least sacked quarterback in the National Football League.
That's because he moves around and going back to decisions. He makes quick decisions, gets rid of the ball, and saves the sack from his offensive lineman.
Coming up in the NASDAQ halftime report, join Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, and the coach George Seifert for all the scores and highlights. We'll also give you a look at some of the NFL players and what they did over the last weekend to make Halloween special for a bunch of kids. NASDAQ halftime coming up next. 2nd down and 10 from the 29. Flutie with the handoff. There's a block by Gash. Antoine Smith rumbling. He's got a first down at the 16-yard line of Miami. Tackled by Terrell Buckley. It's a gain of 13.
And let me tell you, Terrell Buckley does the right thing. Terrell Buckley weighs 180 pounds. Sam Gash, I'm guessing, weighs somewhere in that 250 range, right at the end. He's going to go high. You don't go low on a guy like that unless you just take his legs out. If you're going to go high, reach up high and pull down. Let your weight pull him on down.
That's a big body to pull down. 6'2", 224. Buffalo's got all 3 timeouts, yet they let the clock run here.
They've got the timeout. They've got time right now to let this one work its way on down. They're tight enough in the red zone.
Thurman Thomas in the backfield from the 16. Flutie going to the end zone. He's got a receiver. Reamer's not. His 2nd touchdown catch today from Flutie.
Flutie is magic. He gets pressure. He lays the ball up where it's either incomplete or a great catch. And Jay Reimersma makes the great catch. One hand.
Christie ties the game at 14. Flutie with 2 touchdown passes. What a shootout in Buffalo. Well, we came out and told you this would be one of the best games, not only in the AFC, but in the NFL today, and it's living up to its reputation. A couple of old gunslingers, 36-year-old Doug Flutie, and on the other side, 37-year-old Dan Marino. What a great game. We're tied at 14 with 1:02 to play in the first half.
And what's fun to watch here is these are good plays being made by both sides of the ball. It's not sloppy plays, not mistakes, not due to injuries, any of that. 2 top football teams playing as well as they played all year. That time, Doug Flutie dropped back. There was quick pressure from a very quick Miami Dolphin defense. It's been averaging, giving up only 11.3 points a ball game. Here in the first half, they've already given up 14. He let the ball go in one spot. He just threw it to an area there. And then Jay Reimersma made the great catch with one hand.
Christie will kick off. What a great, we're in Western New York where it's a perfect fall day. 2 excellent teams. Wonderful quarterbacks. Avery inside the 5. A block by Pritchard. A block by Marion. And there he goes. The rookie Avery up by the 40 to the 43. A 40-yard return tackled by Gabe Northern.
You know when you've got a good football game is when you watch things going on away from the football. The ball players that are blocking on the backside, seeing who's watching to see if they can get in front of John Avery in that case to make a big block down the field. And of course Avery, the elusive, Jimmy Johnson said, we asked him who the fastest guy was. He said Avery. He said, who's the quickest? Avery.
No hesitation.
None.
This is the best beginning field position for the Dolphins today. They're working with 2 timeouts, and they're at their own 43, and Marino will shift into the gun. With time outside, throwing to Bernie Parmalee, and he's upended at the 47-yard line and tackled on the play by linebacker Marlo Perry and cornerback Thomas Smith. NASDAQ halftime on deck. Jim Nance, Marcus Allen, Brent Jones, George Seifert with scores and highlights from today. The NASDAQ halftime next. Second down and 5. It's a handoff. And Bernie Parmalee, who was the man in the backfield for the Dolphins for so many years. They tried to put Jarvis McPhail back there, Irving Spikes, and now they finally have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar getting the majority of the carries for Coach Jimmy Johnson. Timeout, Miami. 24 seconds to play in the first half. We're tied at 14. Flutie 2 touchdown passes. Marino with the touchdown pass. Marino's got it inside the 49 of the Buffalo Bills. 1 timeout left. He's got to be conscious of that now. That means you work the outside. First they've got to do is make this first down on 3rd and a yard and a half. Gadsden at the bottom of your screen. Marino fires a pass, ricochets off the palms of wide receiver O.J. McDuffie, his leading receiver, and a guy that Marino has been throwing to for the last 6 years. Just a little bit high. Dan had to put it there. Couldn't afford any chance of a turnover here in a tight ball game with just 20 seconds left. Now it's 4th down with a couple to go, and no gambling here by Jimmy Johnson like we saw earlier in the first half on 4th and inches. He couldn't give it, and then he had to give it up on his own 34. Well, he took his chances, backed up on the road early in the ball game, something I wouldn't have done. But he had confidence that, A, his team could make it. If they didn't, that the defense would stop it. But the Bills were up to it. They scored the touchdown off that turnover. Wilmsmeyer with another punt. His second straight after the second consecutive 3-and-out. Kevin Williams with the fair catch. 26-yard punt by Klaus Wilmsmeyer, who sat out last year after playing a couple years with New Orleans and a couple years with San Francisco. Well, this Tuesday on Jag, a Marine kills a terrorist prisoner. Was it a lone gunman or part of a conspiracy? Don't miss Jag, an all-new episode, Tuesdays on CBS. You saw 2 dogs fighting up in the sky. Dog fights and action, that's what you get. Good show. And Buffalo is not going to continue the good show we've got here today. They're going to just sit this one down and go in at halftime and talk about it. Well, we have seen a terrific first half. A touchdown run by Abdul-Jabbar, a touchdown pass by Marino. Buffalo has gotten 2 touchdown passes to their tight end Jay Remershoff, and we're tied at 14 apiece at halftime. Jimmy Johnson came into this weekend leading the AFC East by a single game over Buffalo, New England, and the New York Jets, having won 2 consecutive games. And Wade Phillips brought his Buffalo Bills in, having won 4 consecutive games with the #1 team in the giveaway takeaway. But there's been an interception in the first half already. Flutie throwing a pick to Terrell Buckley. You know, as we look at the standings right here, we talked to both teams last night. You get a feeling about the confidence that the players have for the next day's game. Both teams felt like they were going to win, and both teams, of course, coming in with good records. If Buffalo wins this ball game, they'll be tied for first in the AFC East standings with Miami. No worse than that. But this is 2 football teams now that both believe, A, in their quarterbacks, B, in the systems that they've got going, and really and truly 2 of the better football teams at this stage of the season playing in the National Football League. And remember, coming in, Miami's defense had truly been the story. They had not allowed a touchdown in 2 games, 8 quarters coming into today. But Buffalo has changed everything with Doug Flutie, the $250,000 quarterback compared with the $25 million quarterback Rob Johnson. Johnson was slated to begin as the starter, but injuries, ribcage injury right now, has sent him on the shelf. Flutie has come in and led this team to 2 consecutive wins. Well, you know, when they first signed Flutie, he thought he would have a chance to compete for the starting job. And then after they signed Johnson, still thought he would have a chance to compete. But after that first minicamp, he saw that Johnson was going to be the guy. And now he's saying to us, when Johnson's healthy, he'll be the guy again. Stay tuned for the NASDAQ halftime. Coming up in a few moments as Miami and Buffalo are tied at 14 apiece. Bills coming off a 30-14 win last week Last Sunday night against Carolina, it was a career game for Flutie. And Miami beating New England in overtime 12-9. Here at halftime, we're tied at 14. The NASDAQ halftime report up next after this message and a word from your local CBS station.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to our CBS Broadcast Center in New York. The NASDAQ halftime report. Jim Nantz with you. And at the half, got a couple of audiences in here right now. Miami and Buffalo. This is a thrilling game. Flutie with 2 touchdown passes, and the game is tied 14-all. Now, also right now, we've got the Pittsburgh and Tennessee audience. But let's first talk about this Miami game, 14-all here, Coach.
The thing that's pretty exciting is to watch Doug Flutie moving the team up and down the field. And the other exciting thing is, gosh, Miami scored 14 points in the first half. They've scored 2 touchdowns.
Actually throwing the ball. Rondé Godson. He's so excited from the Arena Football League, he didn't have to run down on the kickoff.
And this comes after Marcus burned him in the NFL today, okay? Let's show you what else is happening in the NFL today. Right now, the scores. The Broncos, how about this, folks? A shocker. Cincinnati leads 12-6 at halftime. And there's Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator. Some say he'll be the Cleveland head coach next year, talking to John Elway, who has been shut down in the first half. But it's right here, O'Donnell.
Tony McGee going down one-on-one with Bill Romanowski. That's a mismatch. He's got a little bit better speed than Romanowski.
Corey Dillon had over 80 yards rushing in the first half, but coughs it up inside the 5. Coslett was furious, and rightfully so, but his team would come back and take the lead in the final minute of the first half. O'Donnell to Gibson. They missed the extra point, but huge underdogs today, but leading. Remember the last time they were at home, they beat Pittsburgh. So Cincinnati and a shocker at this point. Elsewhere, New England and the Colts, and Manning looked very strong in that first half, but so did Bledsoe. Pete Carroll's team, he's got to get this team going after back-to-back losses. And it's Bledsoe to Ben Coates for a touchdown.
Great play fake there to Robert Edwards that sets up that pass, and then we come back right with the Colts doing the same thing. Manning throwing to his back out on a play pass.
And Robert Edwards, the rookie from Georgia, in the end zone, it seems like every week. That's a good game out there in Indianapolis, and a lead there for the Patriots at halftime. All right, Minnesota in trouble today, perhaps. Tampa's undefeated at home, and Warwick Dunn has rushed for 80 yards on 8 carries in that first half. Arizona, well, taking advantage of the Lions' Charlie Batch 3 interceptions. Jacksonville, 42 points first half. That's the highest total in the league this season. Oilers over the Steelers, and Eddie George, when he runs free, it frees up McNair as well. And there you see the 2 touchdown passes and the lead. Giants, well, they beat the Redskins week 1, but today it's Washington in front. Trent Green, a touchdown run, touchdown pass as well. Rams, look at these numbers. Falcons, 251 yards rushing, or total yards in the first half. Rams only 54. And the Panthers, well, they're not facing their old teammate Kerry Collins to this point. Billy Joe Tolliver started for the Saints at quarterback. He was picked off, and it was returned for a touchdown by Eric Davis. And perhaps Carolina will get its first win of the season. All right. We'll be back with more on the NASDAQ halftime report in just a moment.
Hill Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Just a short little drive from downtown Buffalo on a crisp autumn afternoon with Sam Weich, Kevin Harlan. We begin the second half with a tie game and first place at stake in the AFC East.
Quality football being played. You know, you can tell a game is being well played by third downs. High percentage of conversions, quarterbacks high percentage of completions in their passes. Solid defense as well.
Avery from the 9 for Miami. A lead block from Marion and Pritchett. And there goes Avery running outside. And still on his feet, staggering to the 28-yard line. And eventually tackled by Ray Jackson. And through 30 minutes of football, here are the numbers in the first half from Bill Stadium.
Really pretty even. There's a turnover difference of only 1 right there, but there's really another turnover in the 4th down and inches that was not made by Miami. That's in effect a turnover because he gave up such good field position.
Doug Flutie in the first half, 10 of 17. Dan Marino, 10 of 15. 2 touchdowns by Flutie, 1 touchdown pass by Marino. Each quarterback has hit 6 different receivers. What a first half. From the 29-yard line. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar bouncing outside, weaving his way, and he's out to the 38-yard line before he is tackled by rookie Sam Cowart. It's a gain of 9 on first down.
And there again, and Abdul-Jabbar looks like his right shoulder's bothering him a little bit. 3-4 defense. They're mixing it up on defense. Speed. Sam Cowart is the only one that can catch him. Good bounce. Made a miss right there. That was number 27, Ken Irvin. And then from the inside, Sam Cowart coming. Look at the bounce outside. Good blocking up front. The miss. And here comes the pursuit. A lot of Bills coming.
36 yards and 11 carries so far for Abdul-Jabbar. The pitch out once again. Cutting inside. Got a block from Donnelly and picks up a quick 5 and a first down. Phil Hansen makes the tackle for the Bills.
Key to that play is that the running back lines up deep. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The ball is pitched, which usually indicates an outside play, but then he cuts straight back up the field. The blocking is designed to come back up, straight ahead, maybe even cut back. It's almost like a handoff. 41 yards for Abdul-Jabbar so far today.
The former Sharman Shaw, who is a legend high school player in Los Angeles, went to UCLA and was a third-round pick 3 years ago. It is a first down from the 42. Marino with the block from Dixon and throws a pass up to the 47-yard line for a gain of 4 to tight end Troy Drayton.
I expected really to see more of the tight end. We've seen a good bit of it right here, but this press on outside, when I say press, tight bump and run coverage by the corners on all the wide receivers. And the tight ends then become the logical receiver because they're covered by either safeties or linebackers on occasion, and the throw is so short.
Marino has not thrown a pick today. He's only been sacked 1 time. Second down 6 from the 47. Abdul-Jabbar again. Good block by Pritchett and a first down dive by Abdul-Jabbar. And Pritchett, a wonderful blocking back, who Jimmy Johnson compares a little bit to Daryl Johnston in his early days in Dallas. Opened the hole right there. Number 36, Pritchett.
Well, it's playing right into what Jimmy Johnson wants to feature here, and that's just the running game. Solid running game. Not emphasizing or not relying on the pass to move the football, but a nice balance. Jimmy Johnson said, you know, I've got the headset on right here. You can see that headset on. He's listening to what's going on. Kippy Brown, the offensive coordinator's upstairs. He'll make suggestions, but he's not involved in the play calling per se. He'll make the decisions. That was a first down. As to whether to go for it or not, that's Kippy Brown. Kippy was my coach, running back coach, when I was in Tampa Bay, was the assistant head coach at the University of Tennessee under Coach Fulmer there before he came to Tampa. Top coach.
Taking the place of Gary Stevens after 162 yards in the playoff game against New England last year. They said we're going to jump the offense. They fired the longtime assistant Gary Stevens. Johnson said, I want to run the ball, and Kippy Brown, we're going to orchestrate it. It's first and 10 from the 47. And the handoff to Abdul-Jabbar with the lead block, James Brown. About a yard on the play. Sean Price closes the door. It'll be second down and 9.
Here's a comparison of Doug Flutie and Dan Marino today. Both of them having top days, 10 for 15, 10 for 17. Good yardage, 113, 115. You know what's nice about a day like that? Those aren't giant numbers. They're productive numbers. Third down numbers. When you had to keep the drives going, they made the plays.
Good point. Second down 9 for Marino. Tied at 14 with Buffalo. Play action to Abdul-Jabbar. He throws to his angular tight end. And it is a catch on the play by Ed Perry. And he should have picked up a first down on the play.
Tackled by Manny Martin, who's replacing Kurt Schultz, who's been out. This is the third straight week. Dan is going to fake to the left. See the ball extended? We talked about that earlier in the ballgame, how the flow of the linebackers, and then he rolls to his right. Much easier for a quarterback to go to the right if he's a right-hander. And then Manny Martin coming from the inside to make the tackle.
The spot wasn't to Miami's liking, so it is short by about a yard. We'll call it third down and 1 on the 7th play of the Miami drive. Handoff. Abdul-Jabbar, huge hole, and here he goes. A great block by the wide receiver. There was an incredible block by Oronde Gadsden, which opened up a 30-yard run for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I tell you, Oronde Gadsden's done a lot today. He made some terrific catches, but this kind of a play is unselfish down the field. There's the handoff, third and short. Now watch the cutback. He's got the first down. Now he can make the gambling run down the field. First thing you do is make the first. There was the block you saw by Gadsden. Now he takes off down the field, and he can weave down the field. But the first rule is get the first yard and a half for the first down.
That is a career-long run by Abdul-Jabbar. Avery in the backfield. Avery gets the ball. Avery plowing his way to the 1. Sam Cowart makes the tackle. It'll be second down.
I'll tell you something, Kevin. This looks like a football team that can run the football. Rudy Ruddy, Donnelly, and Brown on the right side just getting movement. Look at the offense pushing the defensive line and linebackers all the way back to the linebackers. The entire movement of the line of scrimmage moved into the defensive side of the Buffalo Bills. Jimmy Johnson happy about this. Now, see those folded arms right there? That's contentment right there.
And his offense playing great. 3rd and goal. Make it 2nd down and goal as Avery dives and is airborne for the touchdown. His first rushing touchdown as a Miami Dolphin.
Up and over the top. We used to, when I was coaching, I'd have guys try out, see who could jump the highest and still gain ground as he jumped. At the end of this play right here, right after the terrific play, good movement by the line, and also no hands going up. No linebackers are able to scrape in there and make the hit. Normally, defensively, you try to time a play like that with your linebackers. Your defensive lineman can't make that play. After it was over with, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, first one to congratulate him on the sideline.
Orlando Maury. Seesaw battle. Avery with a touchdown lead, and it's the Dolphins in Marino by 7. Rookie John Avery leaping in from the 1. It's 21-14. The second Miami rushing touchdown today. Line drive kickoff picked up by Kevin Williams. Inside the 5, breaking 1 tackle, and then swarmed under at the 21-yard line. And Dwight Hollier, number 50, a long time Miami Dolphin, making the stop. On that drive, 5 carries and 52 yards, authored by Abdul-Jabbar. A leftover from Halloween. This game has not been scary. It's been great. The Dolphins on top, 21-14. Flutie and the Buffalo Bills at the 21. Antoine Smith in the backfield. Play action by Flutie. And a pass incomplete, intended for Lonnie Johnson, almost corralled by Andre Reed. There was a Dolphin in between. Derek Rogers, incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10.
You know, when I played for George Allen in the early 70s, he used to give the speech at the halftime, the most important series of the game, or the first series on offense and defense of the second half, because it sets the tone. Obviously, you're closing the game out. Miami on the first series on offense had the big move, and now it's time for Buffalo in this match game play to match Miami's offensive try.
2nd down and 10. Smith running up the middle and then lassoed by Robert Jones. Well, tomorrow on CBS, kickoff a night of comedy with Cosby. And if you found out the engagement ring you gave your wife was worth a fortune, would you sell it for a hot tub and a satellite dish? That's the question for the King of Queens. Okay. Followed by Monday night's number one comedy. Everybody, let me get through this. Everybody loves Raymond. Then it's Ted Danson, as you've never seen him before. The outspoken, not so politically correct doctor in the premiere episode of Becker, followed by LA Doctors. That's a full lineup. Tomorrow, right here on CBS.
You know you got a good lineup of shows when you're laughing before the shows even start.
It's 3rd and 10. Thomas in the backfield. Flutie, pocket crumbling, being chased, and being sacked by Shane Burton. That's the first time the least sacked quarterback in the NFL, Flutie, has had to eat the football today, and Buffalo has got a punt.
Miami sacked Rob Johnson in their first meeting 8 times, mainly because he didn't throw the ball away. Flutie's been throwing the ball away this time. No chance to escape. Penetration up the field. Actually, there was no place to go. He couldn't go left or right. This time they pursued. As you see, they've got the safety. Patrick Surtain is also rushing. There was no place for him to run.
Moore will punt at his goal line. Buckley driven back with the catch at about the 37-yard line. He gets a block, and there he goes. Here comes Buckley. A flag is thrown. Another one is down, and Buckley is up to the 41-yard line. On a 50-yard punt by Moore, Buckley returns at 3 yards. He ran about 30 back and forth, and finally tackled by Ethan Albright. He is the long snapper.
51-yard punt by Moore. 4-yard return.
And Phil Luckett, who got a lot of his stripes, no pun intended, in the World League of American Football, which is now the World League Europe in the NFL.
No, you intended the pun. Do not lie about that.
This one is against the returning team of the Miami Dolphins.
You know, as a coach, what bugs me about that one is that was Laird Hayes that threw the flag. He's on the far side. Let's hear what the official call is here first.
Illegal block in the back on the receiving team, number 29. The foul occurred during the return, 10 yards, first down.
And that is the first special teams penalty in this game.
Well, and the official closest to the called penalty didn't make the call. It was an official far away that had to throw the flag.
Timeout. First place is on the line in the AFC East here in Orchard Park with Sam Weich, Kevin Harlan. It's the Dolphins against the Buffalo Bills and quarterback Doug Flutie.
And they love their Flutie flakes here. That's a cereal to raise money for charity, but it's named after Doug Flutie.
O.J. McDuffie in motion. Handoff goes to Abdul-Jabbar, and he is met by Halasek after a gain of 2 up to the 27-yard line.
Now, this is what Jimmy Johnson wants from his running game. He mentioned to us last night that a couple of times this year they have run the ball well in the fourth quarter when they had the lead, when everybody knew they were going to run the ball. That's when you've really got a solid running game coming along. And they've looked like a team that has a polished running game today. But Jimmy Johnson, 100 yards so far today, rushing for Miami. And anytime you gain over 100 yards, you've got a better chance to win. 13-3 when they do.
Second down and 8 from the 27. The pocket crumbles and Marino throws a completed pass to O.J. McDuffie. A flag is thrown. He stiff arms his way up to the 39 on a gain of 12. Tackle made by cornerback Thomas Smith.
They're going to call this offensive pass interference, though. There it is.
Number 81, 10 yards, repeat, second down.
That's on McDuffie, and it's the third penalty on the Miami offense today.
You know, many times when you're going up against tight coverage and that coverage sits down on you, or they try to plant their heels and not let you go anywhere, and you're not through with your route, you run right into him. It looks like offensive pass interference, and it is. That defensive player has as much right to that turf as the offensive guy. Jimmy Johnson like another explanation of that one. Looked good in practice. Don't see why it didn't work out here.
With the penalty, it'll be second down and 18 from the 17. Halfway through the third quarter.
Shotgun again with 3 wide receivers.
Marino throws, and the pass is caught. And a fumble on the play. Lamar Thomas, and they mark a down. Not only will the fumble be wiped away for Buffalo, but their defensive secondary just hit for another first down pass from Dan Marino. On 2nd and 18, he gets 18 and a half.
Now, they didn't rule that he was down. They ruled that his forward progress was stopped. As soon as the progress stopped, the whistle blows. Here's the shotgun going after the same area. Nobody between Marino and the completion right. You see, there's not anybody underneath. Right now, he's not going forward. They called him down. Most of the time, that's a fumble. If the official blows the quick whistle, then that's the end of the play. But 9 snaps out of 10, that's a fumble.
And as the boos are cascading down, it is a first down for the Dolphins. Number 35 and a handoff to Abdul-Jabbar, and he sneaks his way to the 40-yard line on a pickup of 5. Gabe Northern makes the tackle. Fans, a reminder, check out the official NFL website where you can vote to help select the 1999 Pro Bowl team. Plus, log on Monday morning for NFL Week 8 highlights and recaps at NFL.com.
Tim Ruddy must be doing a good job with Ted Washington up the middle there because they're running the ball in this Buffalo defense.
Second down and 5. Abdul-Jabbar brought down by Manny Martin. He is taking the place of the injured Kurt Schultz. And Abdul-Jabbar appears to be about a yard shy of the first down.
You know, in their first meeting, Miami ran the ball for just under 20 yards in the first half and over 100 yards in the second half. They seem to wear down these Buffalo Bills.
Miami is only averaging about 3.4 yards per carry last year. They had the 5th worst average in NFL in the past 20 years in the NFL at 3.1. So not a great deal difference this year as opposed to last year. Third down and about a yard. And they don't get it again. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar taken down at the 43. Middle linebacker John Halasek came through and belts him. Now it's 4th down, and Johnson has elected to punt.
No question about that. Dan Marino very upset with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for not taking the hole. It's 3rd and short. Get up the field. Don't go outside. You see when he goes outside, the reason he goes outside, obviously, though, is that he sees coming from the inside is number 52, John Halasek. Just signed a new big contract, said he hadn't spent a dime of that money yet.
Wilmsmeyer will punt. Williams is deep in. He's going to let it bounce. Down at about the 15-yard line. Miami gets a good punt and across. Wilmsmeyer. 42-yard punt, and a flag is down.
42-yard punt.
Key to a flag on a punt like that is did it happen before the punt or after the punt? Well, especially when it's against the receiving team. If it happened before the punt, then of course they'll get the offense is going to get the ball back, Miami. But if it happened afterwards, they'll just go after the mark of the punt.
Yes, Jimmy last night, if he spends as much time with the offense as the defense, there's more special teams coaching by him than either the offense or defense.
Well, he's involved in all of it.
Holding receiving team number 31. The foul occurred during the kick, at the distance to the goal. 1st down.
You know what he really says that he enjoys doing and is involved in? That's more the general manager and the personnel end of it. He's very good at the personnel, by the way.
Timeout. Niagara Falls, about a half-hour drive from here. The Buffalo Bills stranded back inside their 8, trailing by 7. 4:40 to play in the 3rd quarter. Their worst beginning field position today. And trying to get some breathing space, they give it to Antoine Smith. Up the sideline and to the 28, a gain of 19 and a 1st down.
Buffalo is +8 leading in giveaway takeaways. That means fumbles and interceptions versus you making an interception or recovering a fumble. Minnesota number 2. Notice that the teams that have the high number there are winning.
Coming into today, they led the NFL.
Right. On that last play, we're seeing a lot of shifting of the tight end. The tight end moves from left to right or right to left. They're forcing the defense to change calls. That time, the defense didn't get their call completely right. They had no contain outside.
6'6" Jamie Nails has come in as the right guard, providing time for Flutie, who winds up and looks downfield for Reed, who is stride for stride with Buckley. Incomplete. Again, Buckley has become that marked man. Now, he's picked off Flutie once today, but that has not deterred Flutie from throwing at him right there deep with Reed.
Well, you know what? Andre Reed looked like he thought Flutie would go away from him, that Buckley had him covered step for step, and Andre Reed geared down almost to a stop, and the ball was still thrown. Injury on the field.
I was just about to ask, where has Jason Taylor been today? Very, very quiet.
A guy that reminds you and me a lot of Mike McCrary with the Baltimore Ravens. That's sandwiched on that one.
An injury timeout with Miami up by 7. The unusually quiet Jason Taylor walked off the field. He'll be out on this next play, and taking his place will be rookie Lorenzo Bromell.
Well, you know, Jason Taylor is quicks. He's speed and quicks up the field. Robert Hicks, who's playing in place of the injured John Fina, is size and speed. This time of year, you don't wear down. That big guy doesn't wear down like you would say in September in Miami.
2nd down 10 from the 29. Remersmo's got 2 touchdown catches today as in motion. Flutie. Here comes Trace Armstrong, and there goes a pass. He lasers it in to Kevin Williams. Williams makes another grab. That's a gain of 8 right there.
Inside throws. Doug Flutie is not a tall guy. Everybody knows that one. But watch, he's in the shotgun. He stays right here. Let's see if he can find throwing lanes. You see that lane right there? There, you don't throw over people anymore. Even the 6'4", 6'5" quarterbacks don't do that. They move within the pocket. And there's a difference between a scramble and movement within the pocket. The movement in the pocket is a yard this way, a yard that way, and then let the ball go.
3rd down and 2, and Buffalo today on 3rd downs is 5 of 8. They're excellent. From the 37. There's a block knocked down by the aforementioned Taylor. He spread that wingspan. He's 6'6", and a guy who is former high school and college wide receiver and linebacker gets up and bats it away.
Robert Hicks retreats like it's a 5 or a 7-step drop. That was the problem. If Robert Hicks fires out, takes the hands down of Taylor. See him retreat right here. Everybody else is up here, and the blocker back here, Robert Hicks, who's a replacement, a rookie from Mississippi State. He's retreating. Everything's got to be coordinated. It wasn't that time.
Moore's punt is away. Buckley with the catch at the 23-yard line, dancing his way to the 28, and out of bounds he goes on a return of 5 after a punt of 40 by Moore. Well, tonight on CBS, when the mob murders an innocent family, Chuck Norris prepares for battle in Logan's War, Bound by Honor. A world premiere movie tonight, 9, 8 Central, right here on CBS. Sees martial arts, and that's what Jason Taylor was in martial arts growing up for about 6 years. He said he makes his hands that much quicker now as an NFL defensive end.
Another similarity to McCrary in Baltimore. Both of them are martial arts guys. I can't tell you the last time I jumped for a windshield. How about you?
Last night. It's 1st and 10 from the 30. Pritchett is in motion. The rookie Avery getting a block from Drayton. Cuts it back in and is to the 34-yard line, picking up 4 before John Hollis touches. We said that first place is on the line in the AFC East. Jets will play in about an hour from now in Kansas City. The Patriots and Colts are battling. Here we've got Buffalo and Miami. The Dolphins coming in with the game lead in the division. Could be a 4-way tie at the end of today. All of them at 5-3 if Buffalo were to win this ball game. Jimmy's got a 2nd and long 5. He's listening to everything that's being called, but he's not calling the plays. Marino, look out from behind. The pass is away, and O.J. McDuffie picks up a first down. He's up to the 45. He picks up 10 yards on 2nd down and a long 5. And that is his main target, O.J. McDuffie. Watch McDuffie. Short motion. The reason you go in motion is to soften the coverage a little bit. Just turns around, reads the coverage being soft to about 6 or 7 yards and stops. Marino's looking for him the entire time. There are certain patterns that are timing throws, some that you've got to read the coverage and throw to the open receiver, and others where you're going to one guy and he's just going to get open. McDuffie had a huge 25-yard reception last week in overtime against the Patriots, which set up the winning field goal. 1st and 10. Great time. Brown with an especially good block and a pass incomplete. And about the 48-yard line as he was zeroing in on tight end Ed Perry, who has but 1 catch today. Coverage by linebacker John Hollisek. John Hollisek just signed an extension on his contract. He's had 3 knee operations. Trying to recover from each one has been a battle for him, but you can do that at that position, but it is constant rehabilitation. Taking the place of Chris Spielman, who's taken the year off because of some personal matters. And then Damian Covington are gone. Sam Coward has been important coming in as a rookie along with John Hollisek. That allows him to play a 4-3 and a 3-4. 2nd down 10 from the 45. It's a handoff, and Avery getting a lead block from Perry again, and Pritchett is swarmed under by Hollisek. Down he goes. At the 43-yard line, Gabe Northern was there, and you can see the intensity on his face. He's taken the place of Bryce Popp, who left as a free agent to go to Jacksonville. And he wants this crowd to get into it. And they're responding. And they are responding. I tell you what, there's a lot of movement within teams. You're going to have players that come in. Guys like Gabe Northern, though, they come right in, and they immediately become part of this football team. The play by Northern sets up 3rd and 11 for Marino. What would you call here? I'm going to give Marino the ball in the shotgun and let him throw. Of course, they've already lined up that way. Well, they got to get to the 45. Marino throws a line drive shot. Incomplete and almost intercepted by Donovan Greer. It's incomplete. Marino can't convert. And the Dolphins have got to punt the ball. And Dan Marino and the Dolphins are lucky this time. Donovan Greer is right there. Don't grab your helmet, grab the football. You know, you never leave your feet. If you don't have to jump for a pass or an interception, don't do it. Stand still, let your eyes not be bounced around. That's what happens when you jump. Kevin Williams awaits the Wilmsmeyer punt. And pretty good hang time, Williams. And it's fair caught at the 16-yard line. 40-yard punt by Klaus Wilmsmeyer. Tonight on CBS, how is it possible for dogs and cats, elephants and donkeys, and the entire crew of the Starship Enterprise to have been registered to vote in certain states? 60 Minutes reports tonight. Then it's Touched by an Angel, followed by the CBS Sunday movie Logan's War, Bound by Honor, starring Chuck Norris in an action-packed drama about a young man's quest for justice against the man who murdered his family. All tonight, all on CBS. Well, the clock is ticking on the Buffalo Bills with seconds left in the third and the fourth quarter ahead. They trail by 7, and it appears as though Miami's defense is beginning to stiffen just a bit.
It's been a I'll match what you do kind of a ball game on both sides of the ball. Second half, though, has been Miami's.
You can see how good this Dolphin defense has been in the third quarter this year. And the handoff goes to the hurdling, and a fumble on the play. A flag is down. Buckley recovers the fumble for Miami. A flag is down at the 15. Antoine Smith with the hurdle and the fumble. And Phil Luckett's got a lot of things to peruse right here. And Reuben Brown.
That's an upset man right there. Reuben Brown, number 79.
Offense number 79. Penalties decline. First down.
It's the second Buffalo turnover for the team that came into today. Number 1 in the giveaway takeaway in the NFL.
This decides ball games. In tight ball games between two good football teams, it comes right down to two things: field position and this, turnovers. Reuben Brown's holding back there in the back doesn't matter because Miami wants the football. Good clean handoff. You see that's number 72, Joe Panos, new to the team as well. Good blocking, good yardage down the field, and then the strip. Miami is trying to strip the ball loose. That didn't come because of a hit. It came because of a pull away by the Miami defense.
Now Marino being given excellent field position at the Buffalo 28. Leading by 7 late third quarter. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar cutting inside. Got a nice block from the center Ruddy, and he gets 6 on the play. Setting up second down and 4. Holisek with yet another tackle. He's in double digits as the middle linebacker.
I tell you what, though, the offensive side of the ball, at the last series, Dan Marino went over to John Avery and said, you got to cut up the field. You can't run sideways. Abdul-Jabbar is in the ball game on this series. He turns up the field for nice yardage on first down.
We've had a terrific 3 quarters from Western New York. That's the end of the third quarter with the score: Miami 21, Buffalo 14. We'll return to Orchard Park after this message and a word from your local CBS station. We begin the fourth quarter with the second down and 3. Miami at the 22. Handoff, Abdul-Jabbar backpedaling his way in. Then he met 330-pound Ted Washington right up the middle. And maybe shy by about a yard, setting up third down and 1.
Let me tell you, the interior line of the Miami Dolphins have done a tremendous job against Washington. Now, Washington is a giant man. But basically what you're doing when you've got an anchor like that in the middle, you're forcing 2 people to block him, which leaves you 1 short, or at least no better than 1-on-1 everywhere else. But they have neutralized that man today.
New England is winning. Jacksonville is all over Baltimore. And Pittsburgh getting clobbered at home, shockingly 27-7. Look at the Vikings trying to stay unbeaten at 8-0. And that's how far they got to go for the first down. This was set up by an Antoine Smith, Bills running back fumble.
Either way right here. Now this will be a safe, high percentage call, probably on the ground, because they're well within field goal range, which gives them the separation. Instead of being just a touchdown ahead, they'll be 2 scores ahead. They don't want to give that up by setting up the throw deep and maybe taking a sack.
And remember, we just showed you the scores. New England is leading right now. 3rd and 1 from the 19. It's Abdul-Jabbar cutting, and again they stop him. Bruce Smith firing in from his defensive end position. Throws him for a loss of 2. Holisek finished him off, and Miami will try for 3. So Buffalo does their job in holding Miami from the first down and, more importantly, out of the end zone.
Again, just a solid play by the defense. Miami lined up that time. Running back lined up very deep. A little surprising for such short yardage because the ball couldn't get there quick. That meant a lot of people were going to be in pursuit. And Buffalo had 11 guys around that ball. Even the corners abandoned ship to come in there to stop it.
Murray from 38 yards. Snap was bad. Ball put down. He kicked the game winner in the game-tying field goal last week against New England. And he extends the Miami lead here in Orchard Park today from 38 yards away. It's Miami and Johnson by 10. A very important fumble by the Buffalo Bills because Miami cashes in with 3. And now Buffalo needs multiple possessions to get back in this one to a tie. And here's Kevin Williams from the 5-yard line. A block from Gash. And up the middle he goes before he is brought down by O.J. Brigance, a return of 27 yards. Next Saturday, Autry Denson and Jarius Jackson spur on the Fighting Irish against Mike Cloud and the Boston College Eagles. Then Sean Alexander and the Crimson Tide head for Bayou Country to battle Kevin Falk and the LSU Tigers all next Saturday on our NASDAQ College Football doubleheader on CBS.
And as you were talking about the last score, it changes the strategy completely for the Buffalo Bills now. They can figure in the fourth quarter with 13.5 minutes to go, they're going to get the ball 3, maybe 4 more times, depending on how well the Miami Dolphins run the ball. That's what they'll be doing in the fourth quarter. A field goal on either of those possessions or a touchdown. Doesn't matter which comes first. But they've got to score twice now instead of once, thanks to that field goal.
Fake to Thurman Thomas from the 30, 1st and 10, and Flutie guns a pass, which is caught by Andre Reed. First down, pickup of 11. And again, working on the corner. And again, working on Terrell Buckley.
You can see everybody getting a little more. Here's the bootleg out to the right side right here. Look right here. There's a claim. You see the hold? It looks like there could be an argument that there was a little bit of holding by Lonnie Johnson, and there was an argument placed by several of the Dolphins with the official after the play. Everybody getting a little bit uptight. No room for mistakes now.
Fourth catch by Reed from the 41, 1st and 10. Bouncing outside, Thurman Thomas to the 50-yard line. A nice pickup of 9. Brock Marion, the safety, makes the tackle.
You can feel the tempo of the Buffalo Bills up a little bit in terms of how much time they're spending in that huddle. A veteran quarterback, even Flutie on the just moments ago, he's saying, hurry up, get the plays into me quickly so we can get the plays off.
Flutie told you and I yesterday, quarterbacking is not about arm strength and size. It's about making decisions.
And decisions aren't always made after the snap of the ball. Sometimes they're made in between plays. It's the way that you take a play, the way that you call the play in the huddle, the confidence that you give them. You're telling that football team that you're ready to play, and you're going to make the right decisions after the snap.
2nd down and 1, and they give it to Thomas again, who is bouncing off the wall of Zach Thomas.
Oh, boy.
And they stuff him. No gain on the play.
Zach Thomas, we talked to him last night. He says, you know, we're not going to change anything for this ball game. We're going to do what we've been doing well. Boom, right there. Notice that he is bending at the knees. We talked about that earlier. The real good tacklers keep their eyes open because they bend at the knees and their head is sitting and such that they can still see up over the edge of that face mask.
Well, it appeared no game, but they did give him the first down.
Forward motion.
Flutie on 1st and 10. Good blocking by Hicks. Downfield, he's got a receiver. Touchdown, Molds.
Sam Gadsden down the side. He stops. No reason to stop. He's got help deep, but misplayed by Brock Marion. And Eric Moles, reminiscent of just a week ago, same kind of play, gets him right back in this one.
3 touchdowns in 2 games for Molds. The Christie extra point in the secondary of Miami. Susceptible all season long to the big play, gambling virtually every play. But this was one gamble Miami lost. Well, the devil just stuck his pitchfork again into the secondary of Miami, and Buffalo is to within 3, 24-21. Last Sunday, Doug Flutie completed this 82-yard pass to Eric Molds, the longest pass play of Flutie's NFL career. But the one he just tossed to Molds, good for 48 yards, equally as important. And here's the ensuing kickoff, and taken by John Avery up the sideline. Got a block from Pritchett, and down he goes at the 27-yard line. Tackled on the play by Ray Jackson. There's Molds, third-year player. 2 rocky beginning seasons in the NFL, but when you got a guy like Andre Reed guiding you along the way, it's got to be easy.
Doug Flutie, Dan Marino. Flutie closing in on that 200 yards. He didn't throw for 200 yards once in his prior visit to the National Football League, and he's done it the last 3 weeks. Closing in again.
Flutie quarterbacked against your team one time.
We were 6-0 coming in here in 1988, and Doug Flutie took the place of then Grogan.
Steve Grogan.
And at the very end of the ball game, a pass very similar to that won the ball game for him. And we went home 6-1. Still went to the Super Bowl that year, though.
McDuffie in motion from the 27. There goes a flag, and here comes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Got some nice blocking on the right side and wins his way up near the 33, but a flag thrown on the play, and here's our referee, Phil Luckett. It's going to go back against the Dolphins. All the penalties on Miami today have been on the offense.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 78. 5 yards, it remains, first down.
Richmond Webb moved a little bit. That's what drew Bruce Smith off a little bit. You know, the strategy changed again. We just talked about the strategy when Miami went 2 scores ahead, but now it's a 3-point ball game. No longer can they grind it out with just the run, trying to eat the clock up to win it. They've got to move the ball. They've got to probably score again to feel comfortable about winning this ball game.
It is that loud. So loud you want to cover your ears.
I don't think there's not a seat in the house. In fact, can I borrow yours a minute? I want you to sit down. This place is packed, and they've been here since, I think, late Friday afternoon getting ready for this one.
1st and 15 from the 22. Marino on the run. Throws to Pritchett. Incomplete pass. Looking for his blocking fullback. Coverage by linebacker Dan Brandenburg. 2nd down.
Dan Marino that time moving slightly to his right. It wasn't a true rollout, but he could feel the pressure, and as he was falling away, he let the ball go. And what happened, the ball didn't carry all the way to the receiver, and was able to, Buffalo was able to knock that one down. Dan Marino can't even hear the play. He's saying, signal him to me. I can't hear you. Call him with hand signals from the sideline.
2nd down, 15 from the 22. By Marino. Pocket crumbles. Ball is loose. It's a fumble, and Buffalo's got it.
And the Miami offensive line that had been doing so well, suddenly giving up some space here. Good pressure. Look at Ted Washington. Breaks right through the middle. He's really the run stopper. That time, he gets the sack, caused the fumble. Buffalo's going to have tremendous position. Here's Washington right there in the middle. They can't stop it. They even tried to hold him, but they couldn't get their arms all the way around to grab.
Washington the hit. Hansen recovered the Marino fumble. It's Miami's first turnover today. Now the Bills at Miami's 13. Antoine Smith in the backfield. Andre Reed is in motion. Fake by Flutie. Being chased on the play by Mixon. Throws in the end zone and incomplete, looking for Andre Reed. Incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10.
Risky pass that time. Marino sacked twice today. But those hurries and knockdowns add up. Number one, hurries usually cause incomplete passes. I think we may have an injury down in the corner because both receiver and defender went hard into that wall, which is only about 5 paces. I walk it off before every ball game. 5 paces from the corner of the end zone.
Reed is up, but boy, was he whacked.
Andre Reed right in the corner. From that point, he's got 5 steps before he hits the wall. Bang. Oh, he didn't hit it with full speed. It looks like he's going to be okay.
Great job by our CBS cameraman, director Dick Klein, and Reed. Thankfully up, hale and hearty. He's had a good day of 4 catches with 60 yards. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Bills. That's the time left in the game, and that's the score.
Now, if you're the Buffalo Bills, you've got 3 points here. You don't want to give it up. Obviously, turnovers would be one way, but you don't want to run the risk of a long hold of the ball as, by the passer trying to throw down the field. So everything will be fairly quick, and you have told the quarterback, if you have to, throw that ball away. We'll just take the 3 points. 2nd down, plenty of time left, plenty of time on the clock, and 2 downs left here. This is where Doug Flutie and that decision making that we talked about comes in to play to win ball games, not just keep you in them.
And again, remember now, the Buffalo Bills, the best red zone offense in the NFL. Today, twice in the red zone, 2 touchdowns. 2nd down and 10. Antoine Smith, the block from Gash. Up the middle, he flies. He also got a nice block on the play from Joe Panos. It's a gain of 7.
Miami's defense is very good. Look at that, 40% of the time. They don't let people in the red zone. They only 10 times that anyone gotten into the red zone. And today, the only 2 times that Buffalo was in the red zone and scored was on a decision to go for it on 4th and inches and on this fumble. The other touchdown that the Buffalo Bills got, of course, was on the long completion to Eric Moles.
3rd and 3 for Flutie at the Miami 6. With Gash in motion, hand on the block by Gash. There goes Smith. He's close to a first down inside the 4. Sam Madison made the tackle.
Here's where Wade Phillips makes his money right here. It's going to be 4th down and less than a yard. You go for the 3 points. Let me just ask you, Kevin, right here, since I'm out of coaching now.
Well, I can tell you what Phillips is going to do. He's going to go for the tie. What would you do?
You peeked. You looked out and saw the.
What would you do?
I tell you what, I believe I'd go for the tie right here. There's still plenty of time. There's 10 minutes left to go in the ball game. I'd make sure we got ourselves back to an even score. Both teams are playing well. Let's just play a 10-minute ball game, see who's the best.
22-yard field goal by Christie. Puts it in, ties the game with 9:54 to play. So Buffalo cashes in on the Marino fumble, tied at 24.
Some folks think my Subaru Outback here is just for exotic adventures. Truth is, it's good for the everyday stuff too. You know, like running down to the store, picking up the mail. The secret, full-time all-wheel drive. Something you just won't find in a Cherokee or a Blazer. Comes in handy when you say, late for a hair appointment.
Right, what's your mate?
You know why I wear a hat.
Marino a touchdown pass. Flutie with 3 touchdown passes. First place on the line. What more could you want with under 10 to play? The rookie Avery from the 1-yard line for the Miami Dolphins. Looking for a seam. And he gives him decent field position up near the 28-yard line before he is brought down by Ray Jackson. Well, a tight game last week against the Patriots for the Miami Dolphins, and a tight game on the road today for Marino in Miami against Buffalo.
This is when you look to your veterans, though. Dan Marino, of course, is the longtime veteran of this ball club. But when you've got younger players right here, you'd rather not put them in the stress position. John Avery being the main guy at the running back, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar probably better to carry the ball in these situations simply because he's been around long.
Avery in the backfield. First down and 10 yards to go from the 29. It's Avery with the lead block from Pritchett. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. John Holisek, who has more tackles at the University of Illinois than the legendary Dick Butkus, makes the grab there.
Now watch right here. Avery's going to come in and then bounce to the outside. Don't do that. You got to get up the field in situations like this. He's got one arm on that football, and boy, when you feel a guy like John Holisek coming at you, put the other one. Both sides, both defenses are going to be trying to strip the ball. Their defensive coordinators have said turnovers right now win the ball game. 9 minutes left.
Second down and 12. Marino in the pocket. Hit, gets away, goes, almost intercepted, incomplete. Holisek was there. Jim Nance is with us now from our CBS studios in New York.
Wow, what a scene you have there. There's another one at Cincinnati, fellas, because check it out. The Bengals in the 4th quarter. O'Donnell to Hundon touchdown, and they lead undefeated Denver with 7:30 to go, but the Broncos have the ball at the 1. Back to you.
And don't forget, Cincinnati upset Pittsburgh earlier in the season, 25-20 in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati has a football team that when they're playing their best, they're capable of beating, obviously, Pittsburgh and playing with Denver.
Marino 3rd and 12 from the gun. Flush from the pocket. He's got to get to the 39. And those old arthritic legs take him up to the 38. Shy by a yard. Tackled by Phil Hansen. A gain of 10. And Johnson has nothing left to do but punt. A lot of time left in a tie game.
Right. I was thinking the same thing you said. And that is no decision to be made right there. If you don't make the first down, backed up with a tie ball game with still 8 minutes. Both teams are going to get the ball probably twice more in this ball game in regulation.
Wilmsmeyer to punt. Kevin Williams back at the 15. High, hanging. It'll be fair caught at the 27-yard line by Kevin Williams. What a game from Orchard Park. The Bills and Buffalo for first place, tied in the fourth quarter. The Buffalo Bills were down 24-14. 10 unanswered points from Doug Flutie in the offense. Were tied at 24. It's 1st and 10 from the 28. Reed is on the move, and the handoff goes to Antoine Smith. He got a block up the middle, and that opened up some room. The center, Ziegler, was there with the hit. A gain of 7. Zach Thomas, the tackle.
You know, winning season starts in the offseason. The first thing that Wade Phillips wanted to do was to solve the quarterback situation. The first 2 things he did in January and February were the quarterback, then the offensive line, the defensive line, another blocker. And, of course, we can't forget that Thurman Thomas was re-signed and is back with his ball club to tutor the other guys.
And accepted a lesser role as a 3rd down back on 2nd down and 3. It's Smith again trying to plow his way, and I think he's close to a 1st down up near the 38-yard line before he was met head on by Robert Jones.
No hurry here for either team now. It's a game of strategy. 7.5 minutes to go. If you can control the ball on the ground and run it, you could actually run this game right on down, score late, and not give Miami much time. Normally, you've got in the fourth quarter, each side will have 2, and one of the other teams will have 3 possessions in the fourth quarter. Right now, I'm suspecting that if this running game continues, Miami may not see it again.
1st down and 10 from the 38. Flutie, who's thrown 3 touchdowns today, hands off, and Antoine Smith, who is a perfect back in this situation because of his size, 225 pounds. He's 6'2". He can plow, and he can move bodies.
Paul Brown used to tell me you need a thumper late in the season in cold weather and in the fourth quarter when the games are tight. The thumper being a guy that'll just pound away and make those yards, positive yards, play after play.
And he's carried it 3 consecutive times. So the strategy here is not to be denied. They want to run the ball and smash mouth it in.
They don't want a lot of yards every time. They want to use the clock as well.
2nd down 6 from the 42. 4th consecutive carry for Smith, and this time he's met by Lorenzo Bromell on a gain of 1. The NFL comes alive on CBS Sportsline. Check out the game plan feature for in-depth team reports, roster moves, and coaches' decisions on your favorite team at cbs.sportsline.com.
I spend my share of time on CBS Sportsline.
I can never reach you. I know you do.
I've got 2 lines. The other one I'm always on the calling, trying to get quotes from folks.
3rd and 5. What would you call here if you're Wade Phillips?
Well, it's a high percentage play. Now, they go to their best stuff. Whatever they've done well in practice is what you go with. It's a shotgun, probably going to be a pass, but it's going to be a high possession, intermediate pass.
From the 43. Here comes Trace Armstrong. The pass by Flutie is caught. Andre Reed. Another 3rd down catch. He beat linebacker Zach Thomas. He picks up 12. He's had 4 catches on 3rd down today.
Coming from this side. Now, this is a Reed. Andre Reed, if he feels zone coverage, would have sat down. He felt man-to-man coverage, and you see Zach Thomas trailing him. Man-to-man, he keeps running. It's a zone, he sits down. That's that high percentage intermediate pass thrown about 7, 8, 9 yards down the field.
And Thurman Thomas threw a terrific-looking block to give Flutie time.
The unselfish part of the passing game.
1st and 10 from the 45. Under 5 minutes left in regulation. It's Thomas. He got a lead block from Panos, and he stumbles ahead with the gain of 4 to the 41. Kenny Mixon, the stop on the defensive line. Mixon is a rookie and a 2nd-round pick out of LSU for Jimmy Johnson's Dolphins.
Now we're working ourselves well inside 5 minutes right now. The running game, of course, is eating up 40 seconds on everyone. The Buffalo Bills don't have to score touchdowns. All they've got to do is get in position for Christie to kick a field goal to win it.
He's kicked 11 game-winning field goals. He's kicked 4 in overtime. Buffalo took over at 8:17 left. Now you see the clock approaching for 15, 2nd down and 6. Antoine Smith, they bring the blitz. Great blocking for Flutie. Wide open as gets. A 1st down. He's to the 28, tackled by Derek Rogers. It's a gain of 13 yards.
Sam Gash is just going to slip right out into the flat right here. Man-to-man coverage should have come from the inside. It did not. They were playing the run. The reason they played the run, number one, they've been running the ball, and number two, a terrific ball handler in Doug Flutie. He extended the ball. It looked for all the world like they were going to hand it off again and grind it out some more, and then the quick little flip.
Wonderful window dressing, wonderful decoys.
I'll tell you, when you're running the football, it's a lot of pressure on linebackers.
And look at what the Dolphins have not gotten in the fourth quarter. It's 1st and 10. Smith up the middle. And he pile drives it to about the 25. Picks up 3. Tackle made by Zach Thomas, and the clock continues to go. And both teams, by the way, with their full allotment of timeouts.
You may see Miami, or you will see Miami in just a minute start to use this because they're already in field goal range, clearly. Now all Buffalo wants to do is make as many more yards as they can and use as much time doing so. The only way that Miami can help themselves is to stop that clock using those timeouts on defense.
2nd down, long 7. Inside the Miami 25. It's Antoine Smith. He gets a block up the middle that time. And Terrell Buckley catches him after a gain of 5. Big time block by Reuben Brown, the left guard. 79. Look at him pull.
Here he comes right around the outside here, leading up to take the hole right there. Covers it up with both hands. A lot of things going on at this time of the ball game. You're protecting the ball with that extra arm to make sure that they don't strip it loose or you don't get a blindside hit from out of the blue, because you know everybody on that defensive side of the ball is coming up to support the run.
A breather for Smith. They bring in that legendary 34, Thurman Thomas. 10th play of the drive. 3rd down and 2 from the Miami 20. It's Thomas spinning, diving. He's inside the 18 and close to a Buffalo 1st down.
Boy, is this an important mark right here. If this is a 1st down, they can run this thing all the way down. If it's not a 1st down, they kick the field goal. Miami has a chance to give Dan Marino one more try for the comeback. Ball's handed off. Now he's going to come back to the other side. Right, watch the spin right there. Put the ball away. Good contact made coming up from the secondary. Marion Brock, free agent, signed by Jimmy Johnson this year. Read the run all the way, playing the run all the way with that quick force. This is an important spot right here.
Brock Marion does that very well at that free safety position, short by the length of the football.
Okay. Now, if you are Wade Phillips, I say kick the field goal, get your win.
That's Joe Pendry, his offensive coordinator.
They're talking about
in his ear. You're right.
They watched Miami try earlier and not make it.
What would you do?
I would kick the field goal. I would make sure I've got the lead. Your defense has been playing well. They're not. I'm sitting up here. Wade's still coaching.
But you would go for it. No, you take the field goal.
Well, you know, it depends on how you feel you match up for this play. When we had in Cincinnati in 1988, we went for it almost every time in this situation. There were other years where I didn't think, you know, we had the edge. You're playing percentages. That's all you're doing.
4th and the length of the football. Couple tight ends and Smith in the backfield. He's trying to pull him off. And he's going to call a timeout. He burns his first timeout.
All right, he made the same decision I would have made. He wanted to go in and see if he could get the cheap 1st down first.
Actually, we're at the 2-minute warning, so they'll probably wipe away the timeout. 2-minute warning. All right, a field goal try by Steve Christie. Holding is the punter, Chris Moore.
Moments ago, Kevin, the timeout was taken, was charged against Buffalo. That could be important if they have to come back in a 2-minute drive later in this ball game with 2 minutes left. Now, at the change of possession, the clock's going to stop anyway, so the 2-minute warning is not going to be effective, not going to make any difference here, because after this kick, the clock will stop, whether they make it or whether they don't.
So the clock is at 2:01. They do have the timeout assessed, Buffalo.
Right. 2 timeouts against remaining for Buffalo. 3 timeouts remaining for the Miami Dolphins.
36-yard try by Christie. The center from Ethan Albright. The hold by Chris Moore. Wind in his face. And he gets it through. And Buffalo has scored 13 unanswered points on a 36-yard field goal. And Jimmy Johnson's Dolphins are down 27-24. Buckle up, because Marino and the Dolphins get it next. But right now, it's the Bills by 3. All eyes is on Dan Marino, who has engineered 34 fourth-quarter come-from-behind wins in his career, a Hall of Fame career for the Miami Dolphins.
The eyes will be on Dan Marino because he's going to have the ball in his hand. But let me tell you, he's got the most as important role here as any of the offensive line. They know that they're going to be protecting Marino against a defensive line that is expecting the pass and is in a full pass rush situation. Last week, though, Miami was in almost the same situation, came back, tied it up, and then won it in overtime with a field goal. In fact, last week they didn't score a touchdown at all. Won the game with nothing but field goals.
What a drive. There is a field goal by Christie, 36 yards, 13 unanswered points by the Bills. But that drive was orchestrated beautifully by Doug Flutie. 6 minutes and 19 seconds off the clock in the fourth quarter.
That's as important as the points because you've left Dan Marino basically with one possession. Now they have all 3 timeouts, so they've got all options open. They can run the ball, they can run the draw play, they can throw down the middle because they can still stop the clock with 3 timeouts remaining. That's a lot of time, especially for a veteran like this. But I can't emphasize enough, the pressure's on the 5 guys up front, and usually one blocker, probably Stanley Pritchett, blocking for Marino. Jimmy Johnson, told us he'd rather have protection than he would try to get 5 guys out. Now he's got to try to get 5 guys out.
It'll be taken in the end zone by rookie John Avery, and Brock Marion, a rookie, or rather a veteran, keeps the rookie in the end zone, and that means Marino will have it at the 20-yard line. First down and 10 yards to go. And like we said before, he engineered a fourth-quarter comeback last week. They eventually won in overtime. He's done it 34 times in his storied career.
But we almost saw a mistake by a rookie, John Avery. George Allen used to say for every rookie you had, you lost a football game. And he brought that ball out, backed them up. Could have been a big mistake for him. But Dan Marino has 80 yards. He only needs to go, though, not 80 yards. He needs to go about 60 yards, and they'll be in field goal range.
Did he call a couple plays in the huddle that was extra long?
I don't know that he will. He's got the timeouts. He's probably got time to keep this thing under control with all this crowd noise.
First and 10. Marino hit and sacked by Bill Hansen. It's the third offered by the Buffalo defense today.
The pressure is on the offensive line. They're blocking against guys that know there's a pass coming. Here's the line. They've got to hold him up. Bill Hansen on a little move up the inside. And you see the switching between the offensive line did not take place.
Second down, 18. Marino looking. And the pass, underthrown, incomplete for tight end Ed Perry. Marino has missed his last 5. Flutie wants noise. It's third down now for Miami.
They got 2 more snaps. There's no fourth down punt on this series. Actually, I'll take that back. With 3 timeouts, if they don't have to use it, and they've got third down and long, they could punt using their timeouts to try to get the ball back one more time. And I suspect they'll go for it on the next 2 downs.
Orchard Park is rocking. Third down and 18. They've got to get to the 30. Marino winds up, throws, incomplete. Coverage on the play by Manny Martin. Marino is aiming for Lamar Thomas, who is decked on the play and still down, as you can see. It's fourth down for the Dolphins.
Very, very close to a penalty right here. Let's see if the contact takes place before the ball arrives. It's almost simultaneous. He's splitting the zone, throwing to the outside. There's contact just before, as you can see right here, there was contact. Lamar Thomas had his feet kind of taken out from under him just before the ball arrived. Officials ruled it was simultaneous.
There's an injury timeout. It's inside 2 minutes. This will be charged to the Miami Dolphins. So now they've got 2.
That's important. That means they almost have to go for it here. You know, it's still, it's marginal right here. Minute 29 with 3 timeouts. If you say, hey, there's just not much of a chance to make the first down, we'll hold them and use our defensive timeout. But they've just about run out of time to do that. If it was 2.5 minutes, maybe. 1.5, they've got to go.
First place at stake in this game, and they're still attending to Thomas. The New England Patriots today are playing at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis. New England leads it 21-16 with 43 seconds remaining. Coming into today, Miami led the East by a game over Buffalo, the Jets, who will play Kansas City in minutes, and the New England Patriots.
As we said earlier, it could be a 4-way tie at the end of the day today. If Miami loses this one, they go to 5-3. 5-3 for Buffalo. If the Jets and New England win, 4-way tie.
It's 4th and 18. The Dolphins today, as you see Thomas hobble into the sidelines, all ball on 4th down. They missed a 4th down late in the first quarter on 4th and inches. This time they've got 4th down and 18. They got to get to the 30.
But you say this place is rocking.
New England has beaten Indianapolis. That is a fight. Marino throws a pass incomplete. On downs it goes to the Buffalo Bills. Two timeouts. The Bills have 2 timeouts. Buffalo leads by 3. They take over at the Miami 12.
Well, Miami's going to call timeout after 1st and 2nd down and leave a 3rd down situation. Buffalo will run the ball, eat the clock as much as they can. Probably kick a field goal. Buffalo could try, say, a rollout pass where a safe play could be, if they can't complete the pass, Flutie would just tuck the ball and run to keep the clock running. Miami would then be out of timeouts.
They put Antoine Smith in the backfield. He did fumble earlier in the game. And off to Smith. Up the middle he flies. Pelted by Zach Thomas. Clock, as you see, at 1:18. Stop there, and Miami will burn a timeout with 1 remaining for Jimmy Johnson. Tonight on CBS, how is it possible for dogs and cats, elephants and donkeys, and the entire crew of the Starship Enterprise to have been registered to vote in certain states? 60 Minutes will tell you tonight. Then it's Touched by an Angel, powered by the CBS Sunday night movie Logan's or Bound by Honor, starring Chuck Norris in an action-packed drama about a young man's quest for justice against the men who murdered his family. That's all tonight on America's Address, CBS.
Privilege of having the right to vote is should not be abused. That's going to be a good piece in 60 Minutes. With elections coming up, everybody ought to be voicing their opinions for those that represent us.
Well, a lot of votes and a lot of opinions about Buffalo quarterback Doug Flutie. What a story he has written in such a short time back in the NFL. Gone for 9 years in the Canadian Football League. Handoff to Smith. Sam Madison will bring him down. Another timeout taken by the Dolphins. We're down to 1:13 to play. And Johnson's Dolphins trail by 3. And that expression tells you all you need to know about his day in Orchard Park.
Oh, it's a tough place to win ball games here, especially when the teams are so evenly matched. They won a close one last week, and they're going to be in a tough battle. This one's going to go right in through the end of December before it's going to be decided, the AFC East. You know, when you get in a situation like this, I used to like to run wide. At least you had a few seconds eaten up as the ball carrier carried the ball sideline to sideline, making sure that he had instructions not to run out of bounds. Right now, the only thing they've got to do, only 2 options they have. Number 1, run the ball one more time, both hands over it, make sure there's no fumble, kick the field goal. Or fake that run, let Flutie roll to the outside, do not throw the pass unless you have a touchdown or a sure completion. If you don't, tuck the ball and run and eat the clock up that way. Miami has no more timeouts. They cannot stop the clock, so it's going to go down inside about 30 seconds here, or excuse me, it'll be inside a minute when Miami gets the ball back.
3rd down. Smith, blocked from Gash, outside Smith, inside the 10, and he's tackled at the 7 by Zach Thomas. And the clock continues to stop because Miami can no longer stop it.
Now, Buffalo does have 2 timeouts left. They're going to let this thing go right down inside probably 3 or 4 seconds and call timeout at that point, eating the clock up well inside a half a minute.
What a day in the NFL. New England has won, so they right now are at 5-3. The 2 previous unbeaten teams in the NFL, Minnesota and Denver, the Vikings have lost, and Cincinnati and Denver are tied at 26 with under a minute remaining in Cincinnati. Pittsburgh was whacked today by Baltimore. Cordell Stewart benched in that game. What a day in the NFL.
Well, there's parity. Parity comes from so much movement between the teams. Free agency certainly created that for the National Football League, something they wanted, something the players wanted, and I think the league wants games just like this every Sunday, right down to the wire.
Buffalo is taking a timeout, so they've got one left. If the Bills go on to win and everything would point in that direction, they will have captured their 5th consecutive win, and you got to go back to the 1995 season when Bruce Smith was just a wee lad playing in the NFL. The last time they put together that kind of string of wins. And here is Christie to try a field goal. It'll be a 25-yarder, 4 on the hold, and the kick is up, and the kick is good, and the lead of the Bills goes to 6. They have scored 16 unanswered points on the Miami Dolphins in the second half.
Boy, I tell you what, that one you saw how long he looked, because that one was just inside the right upright. Christie didn't put that one down the middle that time. There's still 23 seconds left for that man right there, Dan Marino. It's happened before.
A 4th quarter that he'd soon forget. Marino's offense has run 11 plays. They've picked up -7 yards. No first downs.
Good defense by Buffalo. And I'll tell you what, a couple of the series, Miami was in a situation they knew they were going to have to put the ball down the field. Buffalo knew it as well. Buffalo won the battles up front. There's a guy right now. If he were running in Tuesday's vote, it doesn't matter what office. If he wins in this city, in this state.
There is 23 seconds left. Miami has no timeouts, but we have seen wilder things.
There are no more timeouts left, so Miami is going to be left with just outside throws, deep patterns. They've got to get big chunks, obviously. Just try to get themselves close enough to where they can get a Hail Mary at the end is probably what they're going to end up with. If anything is caught inside, they won't be able to reassemble fast enough but to get one grounded play and then maybe one more pass off after that. So they got to stay outside.
Christie with a couple field goals, the last 2 tying the game. Then the lead, and now an extension of the lead. It's 30-24. Here's John Avery, the rookie, a yard deep in the end zone. A block from Marion. He finds a seam, and there he goes. He gets by the kicker. Avery is on the move, but he stays in bounds.
Clock will stop, though, change of possession, so that part doesn't hurt him. 13 seconds left.
Down by 6 points with no timeouts. The Miami Dolphins just got a 55-yard career-long kickoff return from John Avery. He did the same last week against New England and Miami.
2 options here. They can throw the Hail Mary twice, or they can try to pick up 10 or 15 yards and make the Hail Mary a little bit less risky down the field. Looks like they're going to throw the ball, try to pick up some of the yardage on the first play. Be to the outside.
Marino has missed his last 7. First down and 10. Moving up, has time. He'll float it high in the end zone for McDuffie, and it is caught. It's caught. He tried to lateral the ball. They mark him down at the 4. No time remaining. The game is over.
What a finish.
Doug Flutie against Dan Marino. And the most engaging and compelling story in the National Football League. It's another chapter. Flutie and Buffalo beat Miami late in the game.
Lay it up, all you can do. Hope that something good happens down the field. O.J. McDuffie makes the catch. Trying to get the ball to anybody else. Buffalo does the right thing. Just hold on. Clock is out. Game is over.
And as we stand right now, there is a 3-way tie for first place in the AFC East. New England beat the Colts. Buffalo beats Miami. Doug Flutie with 3 touchdown passes. That's the story from Orchard Park. For Sam White, Kevin Harlan, the final score, Buffalo 30, Miami 24.